killed the voices in my head and the monsters under my bed. Let's just waste our time. I can't sleep while you drive, 'cause I found a safe place in your eyes. You try to teach me how to dance, but I stepped on both your feet. I asked for another chance, you told me just enjoy the moment, and it felt so good. Counting the leaves in the trees, I never thought I'd like to waste my time, but you killed the voices in my head and the monsters under my bed. Let's just waste our time. I can't sleep while you drive, 'cause I found a safe place in your eyes. If you love me, now get so far. Write the story we've been dreaming of. I need you 'cause I'm still scared of the dark. But you killed the voices in my head and the monsters under my bed. Let's just waste our time. I can't sleep while you drive, 'cause I found a safe place in you. For the first time, I feel like it would be alright to waste my time, as long as I'm with you, 'cause I found a safe place in you.
On. Holy shit. Hi. Thanks for all the resubs. Hi. Oh wait, maybe I'll turn it off for 1 second. Oh, this is gonna get muted. I forgot about copyright. Hi. Happy birthday to me. I'm back and I can talk. It's great. I can actually speak. I don't have to be Jake L. Hyde for a little bit. Oh my god, it's so nice. But I do miss it. How's everybody been? Who are you? Who am I? Who have we become in the 2 weeks since there was a thing between us? Not like a thing, but like an object, like a space. Intangible but unpermeable at best. It's been a while. But not a thank you for the gift sub over to Hilo. Yeah, wahoo! Hi, Hilo. Hi, Hilo. Hilo there, Aurora Blanks. It's like a kind of RP thing. Hello, almost husband. Yeah, you wish. You friggin' wish. You friggin' wish, bro. Jake L. Hyde doesn't get married to nothing except the game. He was never gonna get married. Listen, marriage is a special thing, you know. But it's good to see everybody. Oh, you know what I should turn on? Yeah. Remember this classic? Ooh, yeah, this is a classic. We should just leave this on. Oh yeah. This was playing in my head. I don't think that's how that happened at all. But you know, we'll talk about the event a little bit, okay? I couldn't finish in time for stream, but I've been making a VOD for Val's case, and the silly preview that I'm making was a lot of Jake's clips. Oh, I'm glad. Well, I hope it's going well. That was a fucking shit show. All of the cases were, but we'll get to that. Guys, I hope that you've been well. I hope that you enjoyed the event. Bows at you, even though I've illicit. We'll talk about it. Sarah, thank you for 20 months. Hello, hi. Rip the cases. I won every single case, by the way. All 4, and I settled some out of court. So I don't want to hear a damn thing. 100% win rate, that's what I'm talking about. He never loses, even when he's trying to lose. That's me. 100% win rate, go. I know that's right. Hello, Mina. Hello, everybody. If you'd like to wave to me, I'll greet you. I haven't greeted you in oh so very long. Why are there little things on the screen? Guys, choose your little grub sona. What are those little creatures? Go down to the section and go make yourself a grub, okay? I know you're new here, but come on. Let's get with it. Flapjack, hello. Hinkaru, hello. Chili Pepper, hello. Chai, hello. Mina, hello. Unana, hello. Mimi, hello. Kyrie, hello. Cryptid, hello. Drether, hello. Verdandi, hello. Versities, hello. Blue, hello. Glamorky, hello. Ophelia, Avalon, BT, hello. The streamer. Lily, hello. Nil, hello. Rebby, hello. Why are there people in there now? I don't really know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say hello. Karen's, hello. Predaqueen, hello. Sue, hello. Verdandi, hello. Sarah Stars, hello. Gray, hello. Horsemaster, holy shit. Horsemaster. Hi. Annie, hello. Not my name. Ophelia, Avalon, VT. Remorim, hello. Whimsy, hello. Mel, hello. Silecki, hello. Ara, hello. Where my grub? You gotta update that shit. You gotta go down to the about section. Sci Guy, hello. Hi. If you don't know who I am, my name is Apollo Bugman. I am the owner and proprietor of the what? Hey, don't, someone's ban evading. Ban them! Wait, how did that not get, oh, it did get picked up. Never mind. Somebody was trying to ban evade, and it was a bot. She updated my grub till I'm on the screen. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, my name is Apollo Bugman. I'm Trash Beetle, and I'm also a Wash Up Sunday deity. I am not Dr. Jake L. Hyde as much as I tried to be. No, that's not anything. I don't know why you're giving plus 20. You guys are way too kind. And it's probably because you guys are like in this collective where like you guys could say anything and you would support each other. Literally, I have realized you guys can say anything and you will support one another. But if I say anything, it's like -8. So whatever, keep giving yourselves points that don't count because you guys are in love. Be funnier. I'm the funniest guy that's ever walked this earth. Hello, Needle. Hi. I'm too nervous to be mean. That's fair. You don't gotta be mean. Listen, I respect those who are nice to me and kind. Hi, Scapegoat. I respect those who do give me a little bit of kindness every now and then. And because I'm such a gracious, gracious God, I will also return that kindness in kind. For example, I'm never mean to tuna. I'm never mean to kiwi. There's other people who are nice to me. But listen, if you return it, or you give it, I'll return it in the mail. You pause there? I'm just thinking of people who are kind to me. Only 2 people elbowed. So that's kind of more a reflection of you than it is of me, by the way. Am I nice? Now I'm confused. So I would feel like you're nice, but if you've ever... I'm going to go back and look at your logs. But then again, there's people who are... They bully me far more. Hello, Sakura. Hello. They bully me in far worse ways, and I love to give that back in return. I'm nice, Greer. You're nice. You're nice. Listen, you're all nice, but some of you love to toy with me like I'm your little wind up. I'm like, what are those little things? I'm like your ball in a cup. That doesn't sound good. I'm like a yo-yo. I don't really like the ball in a cup prospect. I think I'm going to put that back in the earth where I left it. Speaking of back in the earth, the dinosaur thing is out. It's taking everything not to watch it. We're gonna watch it tomorrow if you guys want. I was thinking about watching it on stream, but I've never done a thing where you watch something on stream and I don't know how it works. I just like watch it and you guys just watch me watch it? That's it? I don't get the watching thing on stream. Do people like that? I know that, like, for example, I know Bettel does it. And because he's a movie guy. There's a dinosaur documentary created or directed by Steven Spielberg, already a banger, and narrated by Morgan Freeman, and it's going to be crazy, I've heard. It's on Netflix. It's called, I think it's just called Dinosaurs? What is it called? I think it's a bad title. Is it It's not Walking. It's easier to line up with a VOD than live. That is true. Why don't we just watch it in Discord then? Hi, Blue. Oh, it's while I stream my commentary. Okay. We could do Discord. I should probably do it live. Is it called The Dinosaurs? That name kind of sucks butt. That's a butt suck name. That name is kind of a stink. I'm really excited about it. There's a lot of things that came out while I was gone. Just so many things. It's very bland. Not a good title. Hi, Chai. And hello, Aya. Hello. Guys, it's been so long. RE9 came out. Pokopia came out. Unscripted Sage VA followed me in the time that I was gone, which is crazy. That's a classic. No, Flapjack, it's not anything. It's bad. What you said wasn't even good. It wasn't even it doesn't even constitute a joke. You just put words together and you are trying to make it something. -4. No, because you're all gonna butt suck each other, so it's whatever. Anyway, what came out? Pokopia, Resident Evil 9, Dinosaurs. There was a server buster for that one Bungie game that I wanted to play. I didn't play it because I was playing a game called Grand Theft Auto 5. Ever heard of it? I was really hoping to be able to play Grand Theft Auto 5 while I was doing this and like walk around, but the server obviously isn't up and I don't have another server to go to. I was watching B earlier and B, is that a new indie game? Which one? The Bungie one? No, Bungie, and they made Halo. There's nothing 12 from Paul doubling and giving to Flapjack. Simp. Shrimp in Minecraft. Did you guys miss my face? I kind of did. I miss having my model up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not... Lodestar, yeah, I know that B and Cozy and all them are running that. I'm thinking about it. I'm a little... And B's my best friend, and I'm still hesitant because, like... I don't want to be in something that doesn't end. But I can't roleplay with a cam. I realize I don't want to roleplay with a model up because, like, I don't like being necessarily, it's like when I'm eating. I don't want to be watched eating, and I don't want to be watched roleplaying because roleplay is kind of like, it's pretty intimate. So, there's moments where, like, I feel like a cornered animal when I'm being watched. Vulnerable, that's a good word. I think it's, for me, I like it more without the model. Now, for a little bit, it was fine because I was just being a little silly dipshit. Dipshitiot. But, yeah, I decided to turn it off and not even have a Foogie. A Foogie. What if we do a mukbang roleplay where you actually don't eat anything? What? I don't think that would be, what would that be? That would just be my table. I think it did. I think it stops you from looking at me and it makes you like, well, how is he reacting facially? You guys know how I'm reacting because you can hear me giggling like a schoolgirl. The in-game avatar kind of takes place from modified size. Yeah, I like it too. I will say, man, GTA is challenging, man. Just getting into it. Let's just rip off the band-aid. I hope everybody had fun with the event. I did. I struggled with it bad because I was like fucking I was thrown into the deep end and my paddle was me trying to get anything done. I was trying. We'll start off with maybe like just me talking a little bit about the event, or maybe that'll happen during Q&A. Estro genuinely struggling. Yes, my estrogen levels. You're not the only streamer who said they struggled. I haven't really, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched because I didn't want the opinions of others to dictate how I came across, so I'll go watch their reviews a little bit more later. I watched some of Mocha's, I watched a little bit of B's. But I do think, one, the event was fantastic people. Just like VTRP was, this event had amazing people in it. And that made it all the more hard when it was very difficult to roleplay with those people. That was like, if that's like the only thing I can comment on, it was very, very, very hard to sit down with somebody for more than 5 seconds. Because everybody's doing their job and stuff. As you guys know, I had a little bit of like a fucking, am I gonna keep going with this? Because I was like, I don't know what to do. About halfway through, I think it was day 7. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what to do anymore. What is Jake as a character? How do I fix this creature, this critter, this amalgam of flesh and goo? And he's supposed to be a conspiracy theorist, except he did none of that. What have I done with my character? Oh, GTRP is very hard to keep up with, cruising. Especially, I mean, every POV is so starkly different. The last 2 days, I had to lock the fuck in. Or else it was really not, you guys, I don't know what I was gonna end with. So, I don't know what I would have done. Get so many tabs open. There was a lot of tabs. I did not watch a single. The only thing I would do is I went back and I watched, like, I always go back and watch Bettles because me and Bettle are doing the same thing. But I would not go watch anybody's POV. I did not want to know what their character was thinking. I did not want to know what their character was thinking about me, considering Jake was kind of like, I was trying to make him kind of an instigator, a meddler. No, Joey, we'll talk about Joey. Joey just wouldn't work. You miss a monkey? You miss many a monkey, Unana. You missed many. Dude, Oobly Gooby was very funny. I had such a good time with Ooby Gooby. I wish I could have done that all day. Ooby Gooby! I'm Ooby Gooby Tooby! I was watching Grandma May POV. Oh yeah, from the beginning, and day 1 they were like, there's a weird guy in the bushes taking pictures of people, and I was like, who is that? Yeah. I'm really glad I didn't keep up with the taking pictures of people thing. Because I don't think people like that very much. I had to pull it back, because I was like, no one's gonna like my character. Oh, it's very taxing, Versity. Yeah, I am. I mean, yeah, it's your first one. I mean, some people, it's their first time experiencing roleplay, and like, it's very hard, man. But God, was it fun. And so far, my favorite parts have been after, like last night, a bunch of us were playing League together, and a bunch of them were playing Roblox, and like, people have been playing, like, there's like 4 different VCs full of people, just talking and being people, which is like you guys know it's my biggest thing. Like, I always talk about how, like, I want events to be a coming together of people, and not necessarily of VTubers all the time. Because, like, VTubers are great. We're people and we have feelings and emotions, but sometimes it's just nice to talk to people and like, be me as myself. Is League Arc back? No, it's not back. I was just playing with people. It's fun to play with people. That's about it. Yeah, you just join a call with people. You just hang out. It's fun. Good time. It was fun to see the same folks in different chats. Yeah, everybody I've met has been incredibly, incredibly nice. I just, it's unbelievable. You always, like, I know that people, here's the biggest misconception, I think, with, like, people, especially maybe VTuber viewers, is that, like, everybody always has an opinion of somebody. And I'm gonna be real with you, all of your opinions on people are, like, whatever, because really, when you sit down in a room with somebody, they just become a person. And it's really fun to just, like, do that. So, it was extremely loud in the VCs. Well, I mean, that was when the server crashed. Yeah. But, like, when we were sitting in VC together after the event, like, after some nights until, like, 7 or 8 a.m., just talking and laughing and watching clips, that's the most fun part for me. Like, I love playing it, but we're making a show for everybody. That is what I'm thinking about the whole time. I am unselfishly, I don't know if it's selfish, because I'm making it for you, but I want it to be good, so maybe that is selfish. I probably shouldn't delve too deep into that mentality, but the entire time, all I'm thinking is, like, how do I make this entertaining? And the beginning was so good that the middle, for me, I was just like, fuck, dude. I'm blowing this shit sky goddamn high. Like the movie starring, who's in Sky High? Is this Shia LaBeouf? No. Little white boy. I love behind the scenes with casts and shows and movies. Yeah, it's fun. I wish we could all sit down and have like a stream where we all just shoot the shit. Maybe we can. I don't know if there's anybody who wants to come on and talk after. I've seen like Hilo so far. I don't think I've seen anybody else pop in, but maybe they're just stalking me. Or I know a lot of people are doing their streams tonight, probably right now. Bruce Campbell. Oh, isn't he the dad? Who's the Michael Angarano? Never heard of him. But I'm also just like an idiot. Yeah, I'm the white boy from Sky High. Which, by the way, man, why does every superpower that's like the main character got to be super strength and flying? Oh, he was the gym teacher. Oh, the Chud. The Chad Chud. But yeah, I mean, the entire time of the event, I'm hyper aware when something isn't happening, and it really gets to me. So, like, it's a me problem. It's not an anybody else problem. And if things are, like, this is his first season. You guys remember how season 1 of VTRP was. Let's just, like, I'm not going to compare and contrast because the events are not comparable. They aren't. Different people, for the most part. Mostly for the most part. Different kind of feeling. Less, VTRP was a little bit more of, like, I don't know. There wasn't, like, a bunch of concrete rules. It was the Wild West. And District V had rules aplenty, which I was trying real hard not to break. Because I was trying to be an insane guy. I can't speak for others, but honestly, the most entertaining moments are when you are having a good time, when we can tell you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, and that's what you want to get across. Yeah, monkey named God, that's true. The most godly, what was the most, like, the most fantastical thing in VTRP, or sorry, in District V was, I mean, there were some aliens, but aliens are normal in Grand Theft Auto. So it makes sense. There was nothing, Mr. Toad was fucking insane. Skylar is, like, still believable. Dweemer is a person. Don't ever call Dweemer like anything else. Mr. Toad was a demon. That was a devil. That was like a devil toad from D&D. Mr. Toad scared me. Much like most of DK's characters when I roleplay with DK, because they were also in VTRP. They scare me. Their characters they make horrifying monsters. They had like a little like a Zoomer character and the Toad. Terrifying. Yeah, Dweemer rules. Don't ever talk about Dweemer like he's a creature. The reprehensible Mr. Toad. The fact that was Mr. Toad the first one I encountered? I don't remember that. Maybe I was horrified. Oh, when they were sprinting in the oh dude, the airport was fun. That was when I was the most locked into my character. After that, it was all downhill. As soon as I got into that police car with genitals, it was over. A devil! Yeah, the airport was fun. That's when I was like, fuck, this is gonna work. Because there was like Banana who had like elf ears, so I thought they were a fae. There was Aqua, who was a mermaid. He was a mermaid, so I was like, okay, there's a mermaid. There was a couple alien, like NASA characters. There was angels everywhere and just fucking like creatures of yore. I'm in a garbage can. I meet Ragoose. Ragoose is really like leaning into it, which is really funny. Altair's character was awesome. Oh, I tried to roll through TSA in a trash can. I was probably pissing everyone off. B was an android. There was cops, so that's like government agents. There's hot women everywhere. There's stupid men everywhere. There was no stupid women, just stupid men and hot women. It just works like that. Just and they were like the sirens, you know. Yeah, that was a Jake heart attack, but Jake's growth was very fun. It was fun. This was the season of the baddies. There were some goddamn hotties. Oh, there was a stalker. Lamb, you need to fucking Lamb. I'm giving you a challenge, okay? Next time you play a roleplay, you have to do another character. I'm not saying your character isn't fantastic, but you're just a fucking. You are an interloper. You are an SCP that has escaped containment. You roll around and you're just like a catastrophe monster. We gotta get you to play a calm gentleman with a cane and a mustache. But listen, you really left your mark. But you truly were a man of terror, an entity, if some might say, of a blimp. The blimp thing was so funny. God, we were trying. I don't know if I was streaming the race. I don't think I streamed the race. I did not stream the race. There was a race and Lamb had a fucking blimp, and we just kept getting in blimps and blowing them up on people's cars and like being absolute minges. And minge, for you guys who don't know, I know that it's British slang for coochie, but back when you would play Dark RP, kids who would kill people, RDM, which is random deathmatch, they would call them minges. They were called minges. So everything was a minge. Revy, thank you for the gift of the lamp. Thank you. I should probably turn my alerts back on. Wait, what? Oh, they are on. They weren't muted. Yeah, the blimp was funny. There's times where I don't like having my POV open and having you guys find me, because that allows you to go to other POVs, and like I like when you guys can go to other POVs and meet people and stuff. So, well, I don't know, Rebby, but I think it's different. I think they love slang for genitals. Okay. But yeah, I'm considering doing a 180, but I mean, like, you don't have to. That's the kind of character you play, you know? We say minge, that's right. I'm a minge. Yeah, but they say that minge was a word, and like, Lambriel's characters are just, that is their forte. Hi, Lan! Speaking of great role player, there's one. Hi. Hello, Mr. Drake, hello. Hello, Lanphilia. AKA scary woman tonight. Just terrifying. Yeah, you're scared. Your character scared me. I'm scared of confidence. Nah, but my character, it was like I used to have a character who was very different, and I wanted to play somebody who was like not confident ever. So this was the perfect place to do that, because everybody was terrifying. Because Barnacles would not have gave a fuck about tonight. He was Arrow Ace, remember? Hello, Anon Mocha. Terrifying woman. It was perfect. It was. I had such a good time. Lan was one of my favorite people to roleplay with. And a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, it's because sexy lady. No, because Lan is a really good role player. And every time I would have a scene with Lan, I was like, fuck, this person understands what I'm saying and knows how to back and forth and like create like a cool scene. So I really enjoyed our conversations, even though you were always busy and there was everybody was trying to court you. So it was very hard to roleplay. Well, that's the whole thing. That's another thing with DistrictV. Everybody was trying to fuck. Well, they were trying to date. I'm not gonna put those words in their mouth. Remy, thanks for the gift of the land. Thank you. It built up so well. Yeah, everybody was getting into fucking let's date roleplay. And like, Jake, I was not trying to do that. I was not trying to do that. Let me be clear. I was not interested in dating roleplay. I never really am. However, dating and love as a narrative device is compelling. When your character, there's an intimacy between love and there's something that really changes your character. As you are a human, you know, when you love something or someone, you are the best form of yourself and also sometimes the worst form of yourself if you're going through something. So I think a lot of people were kind of looking for that, or I think it became a meme in the server. I feel like the marriage and love thing just became a joke. Like, people were not getting married because their characters were... There was maybe a few. For example, Miss Dr. Band-Aid, and I don't remember the name of the doctor because boy did I never get to talk to any of them. The EMS did not get to talk to them ever except when I was dead. I never got to really roleplay with them. But like, everybody was just dating. Hello, Soccer. Yeah, my siblings and DistrictV both got married, and I was like, hell, when did you guys get dates? Wait, my siblings and DistrictV both got married. Were you a Burger Weather? You were a Burger Weather, right? I think. I didn't fucking get to talk to the Burger Weathers except when they ganged up on me and knocked me off my bike and made me cry in tears with a Band-Aid on my knee, and I cried. Lucy Burger Weather, that's right. Okay, I figured. Well, welcome in. I know everyone got fucking married. Yeah, profiting. I think they were the first ones. The tax marriage. Wait, what? When all you went to the island, it was all the E-daters and you and Stuart and Duncan. Oh my God. Me, Stuart, and Duncan were all trying to leave because everybody was, well, they were hanging out, but everybody was definitely like trying to they were trying to get with each other. And I was like, I can't be here. This is not where my character is going. I have already, like, here, let me describe, let's just talk about Jake a little bit here. Okay, so as you guys know, Jake started off at, like, we could just watch my little, do I have my, where's my thing that I made? What is this? Oh God, no, that's Barnacles. I don't remember where it is. I don't even remember what it was called. Let me go on Twitter. I want to watch like the video so you guys have like an idea. Wrong blonde, wrong idiot, except he was also a tragic idiot. Jake didn't have a lot of tragedy, let's be real. Well, maybe not. I don't know, I like tragedy. God, I like it. I like drama. I like a monologue. I like being edgy. I like poetic words. I like standing and looking out at the sea with big lightning. The lightning was paid. That's why like I went at the end of what I did is because God, I really like it and I think I'm pretty damn good at it. If I do say so myself. Let me find this shit. What is this? That's a wave file. Where's my stupid fucking thing that I made? Love Doctor. What is that? That's not it. I don't know where this video is. I'll find it on Twitter. We'll watch it later. The Lightning was a paid actor. Dude, that shit was crazy good. Where I had my big monologue. By the way, not scripted. By the way, riffed all of that. Every single like conversation I had with like the demon I just was like, I'm gonna do it. I did not write any of it down. I just riffed. I was like, what can I say? How can I do this? Yeah, I just made that shit up, and I know that sounds unbelievable. The thoughts were there. I knew what I wanted to say, but I did not choose. I always improv if I can. I like improving. I like talking. I like chicken. I like hamburger. I like honey mustard. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Improv, I mean, here's the thing. It's kind of not improv. It is. It's more like freestyle. It's kind of like freestyle, which is crazy because I'm bad at freestyle singing and rapping, but I'm good at prose and like verses and poetry. I'm good at that. I'm really bad at making up songs and freestyle rapping. Very terrible at it. But I am good at coming up with words on the emotions that I want to get across. Stuff like that. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Honey mustard. Let me bring up the... Let's just watch, Scoocher Boot. Well, you know, we'll go over here. Shower. Where am I? Oh, well, no, I don't want to watch this yet. I don't want to watch this yet. I want to watch, I want to watch, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it, and then we'll watch some clips. Did you know that I collect your data? Block your cookies. Block my fucking dick and balls, bro. How about that? Let me get rid of that. I don't want it to, like, open up a thing. Why? It won't go away. I can't block the cookies. How are you running Chrome right now? Because I'm a godsend from heaven and above, who is an angel and also a devil, and also the spirit of Christmas, who I miss dearly. All right, let me open up another tab. One sec, guys. Sorry. We'll watch, like, the first trailer I did, and then we'll watch, like, we'll do first to end. Like, what was this guy, and what the fuck happened to him? Where Art 4 did he go? Where Art 4 did he become? Sorry, I should have set this up before, but I'm a bastard. All right, let's watch this. This is kind of, I don't know why this is embarrassing for me, but it is. This is embarrassing. How did this happen? This is what it was supposed to be.
Begins and ends. All parts in a story, I assure you. But when will my...
Oh, remember his fuck-ass haircut?
Has it already ended?
Yes.
No. I don't think so. Crazy. They called me crazy. Crazy. My studies. Everything. Crazy. Taken away from
Crazy.
me.
They will believe. They'll see, just like me.
Guys, Friday, February 20th, it's coming. Guys, it's almost here. Guys, it's almost here, guys. Guys, it's almost here. Soon we're gonna, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be able to roleplay for a whole freaking 2 weeks. It's gonna be so good. I also can't wait. I'm so excited. Oh wait, it's over. I'm crying. In the club. Only a week away. Yeah, no, I can't do it again. But yeah, so let me explain a little bit about Jake as what the character I envision. So obviously, Jake L. Hyde is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. We understand the character Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a book, a pretty old book that was about good and evil in man. Dr. Jekyll was the doctor, and Mr. Hyde was like his evil possessed like thing. It wasn't a commentary on like like bipolar or anything like that, or multiple personality at the time. It was just a commentary on good and evil of man and how good people have evil in them, vice versa. Genuine question, did you read the book? A long time ago, I've read the book. A long time ago. Did I read it recently? Absolutely not. Can I quote it verbatim? No. Do I understand what it's for? Yes. It did get misconstrued, which is, you know, I get it, but also yeah. People used it that way. You should read it. It's good. But Jake was, so to explain, Jake is not, he does not have DID or multiple personality. He does not have that. It is a extraterrestrial sort of thing. He is possessed by an extraterrestrial. And that's where the scar came from. When he was a kid, he was struck by lightning, but that lightning was like kind of like a seed that was planted in him, and with him grew like the mentality, or like the it grew like what I called Seek, which was Zeke, kind of grew in him and grew up with him and caused him to be very paranoid. But also he grew up, which I talked a little about in the game. He was sheltered by his parents. His parents were a lawyer and a doctor, of course. And they did not let him eat like candy and watch TV or like go out with his friends. So he was very shut in and introverted and just read a lot and had a lot of time to stew on conspiracies and like things like getting books like about these things. And I guess like eventual internet access, probably in like some sort of guise of like, oh, I needed to study. You can't really keep away internet from people, but yeah, that was the consensus was he was gonna get to the city, and in some way he was going to go back and forth between the Hyde, which was really Zeke, right? The character, the like kind of cool, calm, collected guy, and then like be Jake at times, which was this meek, like unconfident, like very like meekly spoken, boyish character who could not talk to people and was stuttering over his words. That was the intent. He was going to be like that for a long time, and I didn't really expect him to ever grow out of it. I just never got a chance to have the switch because I was trying to develop Jake too much. It was going to be a lot more back and forth, but the more I thought about it, the more difficult it became to be like, how am I going to be Jake and not know this character I'm talking to and then be Zeke? How am I gonna back and forth all the time and like re-meet every character? It's like if there's 80 people, I have to meet them 160 times. In a way. It just, the idea of that became very difficult. So I turned it into like an omnipotent sort of like being rather than just like a random extraterrestrial that was possessing him. More of like an interdimensional demonic being of sorts. Because like, in this world, like in GTA, it makes more sense for things to be more alien than it does for them to be demonic. So, that was the intent. That's why when he got there, he was very like analyzing everybody, taking pictures, taking notes. He was going to take pictures of everybody and then categorize them into like, are they an angel? Are they a demon? Are they a ghost? Are they a mole person? A chud, as we were calling it. Are they a alien? That kind of stuff. Like I was gonna categorize everybody into that. A chud, a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. Which is really stupid. But a mole person. You know, kind of like, are they like in on it? Are they government drones? Are they bird people? Are they what are they called? What are the giants called from the, not from the Bible? I forget what they're called. Nephilims, yeah, like giants, which I guess a few people were giants. I was gonna categorize, I'm still gonna do that, by the way. I'm still gonna categorize all the characters I met into those sort of categorizations, but that was gonna be his thing. The more that I got into the server, the more I realized that's not compelling for anybody else but me. Like, let's think about it, okay? My character thinks everybody is in on a conspiracy, okay? What am I going to do with that in Grand Theft Auto? How am I going to use that as a thing where people want to interact with my character and how I'm going to develop? So very quickly, it became difficult. The only thing I could latch onto was the government thing because, and the plan originally was he was not going to be a lawyer. They had a lawyer slot, and I figured, well, maybe he's a lawyer because he's trying to get to the truth. Like, if you're a lawyer, you're usually kind of like a good liar, and not all lawyers, but like a lot of the lawyers you see on like TV, and like people like to play the sleazy lawyer. So like he was going to be like the good lawyer that was like trying to help people. But the more he got into it, the more he realized that the innocent are always made guilty and the guilty are always made innocent, and that it's a conspiracy. So that was going to be the thing with the lawyer. So I was like, I will do that. Wasn't much truth, exactly, and it kind of led into that. It bled into that a lot, where every time I would do a case, I would inadvertently win, or, well, I guess I always won, but I was sometimes defender and sometimes I was prosecutor. Sometimes I was defending people who were very clearly guilty, and sometimes I was defending people who were very clearly innocent, or, sorry, prosecuting people who were very clearly innocent. 100% win rate, by the way. No big deal. Kind of a fucking legend. But that was like the thought. It got off the rails quick, as all things do. You cannot stick to an idea that is more than yourself, because you will quickly be dislodged from any plan you have, because you're not just playing with your character. You're not just building your character, you're building your character alongside other characters who have different goals and they have different wants, and they are falling in love, and they're meeting other people, and their ideas of each other are changing, and there's war and strife, and there's factions, and there's people at odds with each other, that kind of thing, which was true, I guess. The major issue that I found when developing Jake was the DOJ was a very hard group to be a part of, and not because anyone in the DOJ was not great, but because we were a small group and we were not a traditional. We weren't a burger shot. We didn't have 10 or 11 people all hanging out all day making burgers. We were not the LSPD or the police force. We were not a tight-knit group of family members who were always fighting crime with one another, always involved in life or death situations, and involved in like crime very heartily, and meeting all these people, because when you're the cops, you meet a lot of people at all times. You're always meeting people, you're going in and out, and you're also bonding with one another because you're always together in the car every other day. You have a new partner. If you're the EMS, you're always together, you're always partnered, you're always in the hospital, you're always running around with each other. When you're in the Vanilla Unicorn, they were all like a crime family together. Spoilers, I guess. They were a crime family. It wasn't really a surprise, but it wasn't, you know. They were like a sleazy kind of like, not sleazy. They were kind of like more of a white collar crime group. They were, I think they were doing other stuff. What I imagine they were doing was probably telling other criminals to how to sell drugs, I think. I don't really know, because like I said, I did not watch anyone's POV. I watched them a lot. I watched them run in and out with masks on, get on bikes, and go away with voice changers on a lot. I watched them always being on the radio a lot. So I was assuming they were doing stuff they weren't supposed to do, and for some reason, Neil Down liked Jake and would just let me sit in there. For some reason, I would always, like, when they were closing up, like, or they would just open the door for me and I would just be in there. I'm like, I should not be here, so I'd always leave. I'm like, you guys, I don't know why you're talking about this with me. I need to go. I'm not part of the Vanilla Unicorn. I don't know why you trust me. I don't understand this. Don't know. But anyway, they were like a family. The Cat Cafe, obviously, they were like all criminals too. What other groups were there? Oh, there was a fishing group, which was actually like not a faction, right? They were just a fishing group. Yeah, and the DOJ was a mess. We were all a mess. Stuart Smalls, mess. Judge Helabute, mess. Jake L. Hyde, mess. Big Champa, the best. But also not a great lawyer like any of us. The only one who was good was Viles Vedgeworth, and he did one case, lost, and fucking left. Which is really funny. I think you thought they were a lawyer? Well, yeah, I guess. But that never happened because it's really hard. The lawyer thing was hard. It was hard, and I don't ever want to do being a lawyer again. I'm not a lawyer. I think I am good at it. The first case was rough, but I do think I would be a good lawyer because I can talk my ass off. However, I never ever want to do it again. It sucked. I did not like it, and it was not because of anybody. It was because I don't like that. So I really fucked myself bad. I fucked myself by becoming a lawyer. I was thinking about this when I did it. I was like, do I really want to be a lawyer? But then I was like, yeah, I'll be a lawyer. Like, people will like that. I can get a lot of clients and be involved in crime, or be involved with the cops. No. None of them trusted me. The cops did not trust me. Even when I was not being a criminal, they didn't trust me. And then when I was a criminal, for some reason, they liked me more. I don't know. I don't understand. It made it really hard for me. So a lot of the time I felt like I was struggling because, let's break this down, right? At most times, there are about 80 to 90 people on, right? Let's say 10 of those people are burger shot. That's 80 people. Let's say 15 of those people are EMS, or 14 or 12, or 12 of those are EMS. That's now we're down to like 60 or 58. Let's say 14 of those are cops. We're down to like 40. Let's say the other 10 or whatever are vanilla unicorn. We're down to now like close to 30, 40, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are now struggling very hard to ever find anybody to do a lot with. Because the cops, you can't really just go up to them and talk to them. The EMS, God, you can't ever go up to them and talk to them. They're always running around. They're very busy. The vanilla unicorn, they're not going to really like trust you like that. And they want you to be their customer. And if you're a criminal, I guess I don't know. But, and then there was, I don't know the name of the group. The Bachelors, which was Lucas Santos' group. And they were like a tight-knit group. There was some other, I think there was a Philippines gang. I'd never met them, really, to be honest with you. There may have been other gangs, I don't know. And that really reduced the amount of people that were able to do anything. There was a day where people were trying to find jobs and there were no jobs. And it made it really hard for people because I don't like, personally for me, I want to roleplay with people. I don't want to do game mechanics very much. Oh, the mechanics. I missed the duh, that was a huge one. The mechanics also, yeah, they were really close by the end. The mechanics were like one of the closest groups. I loved going to the mechanic shop because it was the only one I could go into and probably not be told to scram. So I would just go there and hang out with them a lot. I should have just been a mechanic, to be honest. I loved going in there because they were like varying, and not that anybody was exclusive, but the groups inherently were. So it was hard for me to develop Jake in any meaningful way because I was like, well, what am I doing? I can't be a criminal. I can't be corrupt. My hands are tied here. There was a rule that changed, I think on day 8 or 9, where we were allowed to be corrupt. But by that point, I didn't really want to be. So it was really hard for me. Like I loved everybody. I loved the server's mechanics, but I do think that it was too much for a very short amount of time. I think I heard that for gangs, they had to grind for reputation and to get drug, aka like rock candy and grass. They had to grind, I heard. And I heard there was just a lot of mechanics. And I'm not talking about mechanics. I'm talking about like what the fuck? Why did my thing break? My music. Where my music? What? It went away. Bring it back. Is this it? Yeah. My Cocoa Melon. Oh, and then the gangs. Yeah, of course, you know. The crime wordle, which I really wanted to do, but I was scared of. And I was scared to do crime because I was like, if I get caught, it's fucking GG. So, yeah, I really enjoyed my time. I think if I could do it all over again, I would just join a group and not be DOJ. In all honesty, I don't think Jake fit in with Vanilla Unicorn. He wasn't like a sexy, like, host guy. Everybody in the DOJ was like a sultry, sexy, you know. Everybody in the mechanics was like really like, I'm probably a mechanic, I guess, but he's not really. Definitely not a cop, even though I did try to be a cop at the end. Burger Shot, I don't know if Jake would have liked flipping burgers. He probably would have been like, oh, I'm above this. Cat Cafe, probably not either. So, yeah, it was just, I needed to like really try a little bit harder to figure out what I was doing. But I'm glad that everybody in those groups did have a really good time and that they were able to develop their characters. I'm really happy for them. I saw so many clips about all the drama and the cops and like all the stuff with the VU and like, you know, the burger weather people, they basically turned into a gang. It was great. I really enjoyed that dynamic of the server. But at times I did feel very alone. A lot. I guess we can kind of just creep into, I'm going to creep into like Q&A, and anybody has questions, we can kind of go through that as we go. Are there new ones? Let me refresh this. Oh, yeah, okay, I found it. Let us go over here. Oh, wait, no, I could bring them up right here. Well, that's Hold on a second. Why is it so big? Oh God, it's so... Is this the right one? I suppose it is. I suppose it is, mon frere. Let me chop this up. One sec, guys. Sorry. I'm a streamer, by the way. Professional. That's right. I'm widowy a professional streamer, by the way. Well, let's chop her up. And then we will get going on Q&A. If there are any questions after, I'll just ask them in the chat. And I will get them answered for you as we go. There we go. That should be okay. Now let me scoot my fucking boot. Let me scoot my dangle boot out of the way. Get over there. All right, question and answer time. And then we'll go over clips. There's a lot of clips. There's gonna be kind of a longer stream probably. There's a lot to talk about. All right, are you okay with people writing about Jake? Yeah, of course I'm okay with people writing about Jake. Do you mean like writing about him in a fanfic sense? I guess this requires more context. Like, the answer is yeah. Like, do you want to smut him out? Yeah, I don't care. If you want to smut him out, if that's what you're asking. If you want to write about him, then yeah. Fanfics are fine too. Do whatever you want. I have no qualms. If he inspires you to be more creative than by the gods, do it. Write that man into a scenario. Make him have an auspicious time or a bad one. I want that twink obliterated. Send him to the obliteration chamber immediately. Oh frick, this dang website. This dang old website. Whatever. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. There we go. That's a big question. We know that Zeke has been with Jacob long before the events of DistrictV with the situation regarding his parents. However, is there an exact time frame of when Zeke became a more prominent figure in Jacob's life? And is there a reason Zeke would latch onto someone like Jacob in particular? Yeah. So the reason I play around with the idea of Jake being... So the reason he was chosen, I think, was not so much like for a reason. The reason is because he's the main character, right? He was kind of just hit by this like lightning, quote, that left the scar in his face, but was really just like a kind of like the planting of a seed in his mind, in his mind palace. Let me shrink myself a little bit more and also rip off my coat like a bear in the woods. It was more so, it wasn't because Jake was any particular way. He was young when it happened. I would say he was probably like 7 or 8, probably outside doing like playing or whatever in the yard. Yeah, bears are known to rip off their coats and roar loudly and slap their bellies too. However, is there a time frame? I would say he became more prominent as he grew up and made him more and more paranoid, and fed into his paranoia was probably whispering to him, probably made him think he had some sort of psychosis, but in reality he did not. It was a real entity that was speaking to him, and the battle of like kind of good and evil in him became more of like an extraterrestrial that was possessing him for the reason of this being was chosen. The original reason I had written was this being was chosen to take over Earth. Earth was like their chosen colony. If you can think about it kind of like if you want to think about it like Steven Universe, right? How Steven Universe, like the gems each had like a colony or a planet that they would take over, sort of. Like this was the entity, like Zeke, the extraterrestrial entity. This was like their planet to try to take over, so they needed Jake to do it. And it's not that they saw any potential in him necessarily, they just chose, and then they were gonna act through him. It would be more compelling maybe if there was a reason, but I think he was too young for there to be any real reason why he was chosen, but he just was by chance. But it did send him into that paranoia, and as a result, it sent him into the conspiracy and like latching onto everything. It's like, there's a reason for this. There's got to be a reason for this. There's an unexplainable reason why this is happening. And that led to him, you know, probably being othered and bullied in school, of course, and probably never really having friends. And of course, his parents were sheltering him and you know, abusive in the way that parents are to children who want them to do nothing but be a work bot, that kind of thing. And you could see it in his character a lot. He just doesn't know what to do with himself. And he's growing all the time. But that's kind of how I viewed it when I first made the character. I know this isn't Jacob related, but since they appeared in District V, does the Sunbug accept hugs? I feel something would give good hugs. And to say something else non-Jacob related as well, please continue writing. You're incredible. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do like writing. As you guys know, I am a washed up English major. I like writing. I used to be very good at it. I've role played since I was 11 or 12 on forum role plays and online video games like World of Warcraft and Gary's Mod and like other random small variants of games where I role played. Welcome in Falchion. Welcome in the Bug Den. Hello. Does the Sunbug accept hugs? Probably not. I think the Sunbug is not like a parental caring figure. I view them as an omnipotent, not cold, because they are like a light-based entity whose ideas are they want humans to understand themselves, and understand kind of like what good and evil is and what the difference between morals and law and the things that and culture and society, all of those things that would differ on another planet, or like, you know, all those things that don't matter really. Like, did I break this law? Does that make me evil? That's why this, like, when I embody, I wasn't originally going to embody the Sunbug. It was kind of a last ditch effort to make this kind of come together in a universal way, right? So, I should probably stop. There's an ad break, so I can chill for a second, just filibuster. Ba 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 boo, ah booby doo, a gooby gooby dooby doo, and a gooby gooby, and also a doobie. And Jake does not have Ken doll parts. I imagine he has a fairy. He's gotten, you know what dork dick is though, right? That's why he always had a huge bulge in his pants, because I think he had dork dick. I think he was like the guy who, like, he never uses it, but it's he's got a hog on him. Like, just like way too much for what he's got. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was packing schmeat. He was at the meat packing schmactory. Excellent. Update the wiki. What wiki? There's no wiki for Jake I'll Hide. Doesn't exist. This is some hentai plot. I mean, that's just funny, because the reason that is like a headcanon for me is because when I was first making the character and we were offline, it's always the skinny, nerdy white guys. That is very true. I just imagine, like, he had his like plaid pants had a huge bulge on them. So like, everybody would always be like, dude, why has he got all that? So like the headcanon just became randomly that his wiener is large. But not that it matters, bro doesn't use it. He got that in a dumpy. Everybody had a dumpy though. That's just GTA. Warge. A warge one. Alright, ad break over. Let's continue with the question. Sorry, I was filibustering. Do they give hugs? I don't think so. I don't think they have that sort of idea of love necessarily. Like, I don't think their ideas are love. I think their ideas of light is understanding and wisdom. I think the idea of being good from the Sunbug's perspective is more a some sort of commentary on like understanding yourself and being able to discern whether or not you are good or bad and what that means to you and how you can use that to make a change for the better. Not necessarily how to love or be loved, I guess. Because he never really talked with people about that, really. It was more like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this part of you, and how does this make you feel? He was kind of therapizing people, but also making them consider things about themselves, which he has done in every RP scenario I've had him in, which is make people go, what? Maybe you're right, which is very fun to me. I love being that character because it is so antithetical to me and like my normal, I was a combination of mortal and normal, my normal kind of way of speaking, I guess. My nordle. Pure Sun, like, yeah, a lot of people were just kind of put off, but also that like it made them listen. Because when you see a guy like Jake, you probably aren't gonna sit there and listen to him, but if you hear the sunbug, you're like, what are you talking about, bruv? Chortle my Nordle, that's disgusting. That's awful. No, I don't think he gives hugs. No, I don't think he does. I think it's cool that he kind of comes to Earth and like, one of my favorite parts, welcome in Ray, hi. One of my favorite parts of, which I really liked, which is a small detail, is when people gave, like Skylar would give him food, like gave him a burger, and then he got a strawberry, and he was like, oh, it's sweet. Like, this is like, I really liked the idea that he liked sweet things. It like brought him into a very human place where like a lot of humans like sweet food. Like, it's a very common thing. Like, it's like, oh, this like omnipotent deity being likes strawberries and chocolate. Like, he thinks it's good. Like, that's something that he likes. Which was just, I just like small details like that. I love doing stuff like that. It doesn't happen very often because there's not usually a lot of time for the small details. Yeah, it's Sweet Tooth. But I know, I don't think he'd give good hugs, nor do I think he would give a hug. What's Jake's favorite food? Dude, I don't think Jake cares about food. Opposite to the sunbug, I think he doesn't care about food. I think he views food as a nuisance. I think he views food as like a thing he has to do and therefore it's annoying. I just don't think he likes it. So I don't think he has a favorite. I think he actually loathes it. Jake is not food motivated. He's not a food motivated little puppy dog. That's my headcanon for him, and it is my character, so I say he doesn't like food. Yeah, it's fucking tater tots, nachos, sandwiches, burgers made of sushi, chips, the literal, and sometimes a strawberry or a peach to make sure your gums don't fall out of your head. You know? That's kind of, yeah. Where were the peaches coming from? I believe the Vanilla Unicorn sold peaches. And correct me if I'm wrong, any Vanilla Unicorn people in the chat. If you're here, or maybe you hate me and want me dead. I have a friend who bought her and her dad say, what? How am I'm having a stroke reading this. I have a friend who bought her, both her and her dad say that if they could take all of their nutrients and calories for the day in a pill, they would eat. Yeah, I would fucking do that too, dude. I get it. Eating can, like, the idea of being hungry is not fun. Sometimes I wish I just didn't have to. Use the context clues. Use this context clue. Holds up middle finger at you. Yeah, that's the food question. Will Zeke or Mr. Hyde make a return in the future Sunbug lore? And if so, how did he choose Jake to be his vessel, or does he have more? So, the reason, which I came up on the spot, again, I came up with it like the day of. And he wasn't even going to be his brother, but I threw that in there. And I was like, fuck, this is going to be a big step if I do this. Like, when he goes, like, brother, the idea is that, like, the Sunbug is more than just, like, he's not really a god. He really is just an extraterrestrial. And which kind of makes a lot more sense than him being a god of sorts. He did not choose Jake. Hyde chose Jake, like we said, because of the lightning. There was no reason. It's just one of those things where my characters are drawn together by some sort of, like, invisible thread, and that is it. There is some sort of thing, like, for Barnacles, his god is kind of an alien, even though Barnacles is like a knight, right? And for Zeke, like, what is the word alien and what is the word god? We made those words up. Like, if we had seen aliens and we had seen a god, we would think they're the same thing. From, like, however many... We would think they're the same thing. If we had just invented religion, we're like, that alien, that's a god. That thing is otherworldly. It can fly. It can come to Earth. It can do all these things. It's smart. That's a god. That's what a god is. Welcome in, Sleepy Patat. That's how I envision it. Will they make a return in the Sunbug? I mean, it really depends if it's needed. If I'm being honest, the Sunbug and, like, the extraterrestrial things are... What is happening behind me? They're kind of like my eagle. They're kind of like my eagle from Lord of the Rings. They come and help me in a time where I am lost and don't know what to do. They are my god. They are my ability to take a situation that is difficult and make it into like, well, this god is helping me, without necessarily like doing anything to like fuck with character. Like, I'm not gonna ever make a god that fucks with people in a way that harms them, because that adds an element of fantasy that I'm not willing to do. The most it'll do is like talk to them and make them feel weird and disappear and shit. But does he have more? I mean, really, he picks people who the Sunbug usually embodied. The reason he embodied Jake at that time was because he saw a world on the brink of the end. He saw a world on the brink of the end, and he saw his brother about to cause that. And as you can hear, like, he somehow the Sunbug made a deal with Zeke to like have Jake, and he was like, you know, we had a deal, whatever that deal is, you know, the price for denying me this deal. It was the Sunbug's way of kind of being like, well, I'm gonna try my best to make it not happen, into a world that's about to be thrown into a flood or chaos or something biblical or, you know, godly. Are they secretly Mormon? What? I know a Christian who thinks God is an alien and that's how they worship. That's literally what Mormons are. That's what Mormons are. Right? Am I fucking insane? I think Mormons thought their prophet was from space or something. Whatever. But yeah, that's he'll come. The Sunbug will come back. I don't know if I should bring him back again in recent times. Scientology is a lot different than just that. Scientology is crazy. It's more than just aliens, I think. It's like a whole other thing. What kind of music would Jake listen to? Probably classical music. He was probably forced to listen to it, so he probably now more recently probably would listen to other stuff. You know? But I think he was probably raised on classical stuff, like the sort of things that Jake listens to Turn the Lights Off Now. I said, ooh, come on, baby, turn the lights off. No, but he listens to like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where like, I don't think Jake has an appreciation for things that humans should. Like, he's just now becoming a person that understands, like, he doesn't like food. Maybe he'll come around to liking food the more he comes to appreciate it. He probably doesn't care about music like that. He isn't a creative type. He is an analytical type. You know what I mean? Let him listen to ska. I don't know if Jake would like ska right now. I think that he probably doesn't have a love for music like that. Yeah, it's kind of, he listens to like shoegaze and like butt rock. Stuff like that. In reality, Jake is probably like he's not like a great person to hang out with. He's just kind of like probably rambling. Did you guys learn who Fake Champa is? It was a Roadworks person. How does Jake feel about 100 Gex? Everybody loves 100 Gex. Zuna, thanks for the gifts of diversity. Thank you, thank you. Everybody loves 100 Gex. Who doesn't? It was Roadworks, yeah. It was an admin, or a mod. The Roadworks were mods. But yeah, it was, I think Chloe, who plays Big Champa, had a conversation with them about like becoming a cop and like fucking around. It was like a thing they were allowed to do. And therefore, an admin became Champa. It was funny. God, that was scary, wasn't it? That was so scary when Champa was suddenly not Champa. Oh my god, dude. Remy just I wish I got to see Ruse more. I just never got to see him. It was pretty good. I'm still so tired. Fuck, man. Yeah, that's who Fake Champa was. It was a Roadworks member. It was very funny. Zeke said the Sunbug said he could have Jake. Is this because the Sunbug has to let some bad things happen, like he's not all powerful, but he is all good? Or is it because he was trying to play a game with humanity to see who could win between good and bad, like Philemon and Neryl with the Tep in Persona? I did not play Persona, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I imagine in order to quell his brother's rage, because if the Sunbug is the light, then his brother is very clearly not, right? It's an antithetical. It's very, it's like a super obvious like writing trope, which is like, if you have the light, you must then have the dark. It's so common It's like the most Final Fantasy thing ever, but it's very fun to play with. And like, I imagine that whatever deal was struck, the Sunbug said that his brother could, fine, go toy with this human. Like, you know, whatever, you can do that. Because, I mean, if we view them from a godly perspective, the Sunbug being the light does not necessarily mean he is good or pure, because no god is all good. Because if all gods were good, there would be no suffering, yada yada. We're getting into like theism and shit. Wait, I don't want to get into that too much. But like, you know, he let him have it because he didn't see it as like a huge win. And it's his little brother. He's like, fine, you can have that one, whatever. Have your toy. If that'll keep you away from what I'm trying to do, yes. Was it like a playing game with humanity? I don't know. I think that the Sunbug did not view his brother as having any potential to make it happen, but when it started to happen, he had to interfere because he had, and what my headcanon is for that is that he now had a reason to defend Earth, even if before he had no reason to defend it. Yeah, one brings shadow, one brings light. Exactly. It's fucking Shadowbringers. I think that the Sunbug probably has some sort of reason to keep Earth safe now, for whatever reason we don't know. Right? It's crazy that this is the fucking dialogue that I'm having about a GTA server. What am I doing? But that's what I'm viewing for him, is like there's some sort of reason that the Sunbug is defending Earth. We don't know what it is. Z called the Sunbug his brother. Is it like they're two sides of the same coin? If we figure out the Sunbug seek lore, will we understand the Apollyon lore? I mean, like, it's no surprise that the Sunbug is like supposed to be me, and I'm not doing that like I'm a god, but like it's supposed to be like meta, where like I, as the person playing the character, am also the god that the character is like being protected or protecting, right? So I guess in that regard, Apollyon, I suppose, would be in some regard that. If you want to bring it to that, you can, because Apollyon is a Hebrew god of I think the god of destruction in Hebrew, and also is Abaddon in Greek lore. So it's, I just did that because it's a play on word. He's the god of destruction and whatever, and Apollo is the god of healing. So Apollyon is like, okay, that's kind of like, you know, that's very obvious, right? The Naruto is Gurma. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But if we figure out that something with Zeklor, we better understand the Apollyon Lord. Not really. No. I don't think like it has too much bearing on me and like Apollyon very much. I wouldn't look into it too much. There is lore and there's things to be developed. I have not sat down and fleshed that out because it's so hard, because it's GTA. Like, why am I building? I'm so fantasy pilled that like, and it's the reason I don't think I'm really a good writer and role player all the time, is because in order to succeed in a GTA server, I had to use a fantasy element. So that's the reason why I think like I was not very good, and like I sometimes am like feel like I'm not deserving of the praise that others give me in being good, because I actually don't. I think many other people, not to compare, but there were many other people who played their characters very well and told a more compelling story with others involved. I wasn't able to achieve that, and it's probably my biggest. There's a few big regrets I have in the server. One, not being able to meet everybody's character and understand them and develop with them. It's just not attainable. It's not something you can do in 12 days. And the other regret is I don't think I told a story that I would have wanted to tell with other people involved. And that's why, like, in VTRP Season 2, I loved that because everybody was involved in a story that I feel like I accidentally created in a way. And for people who didn't watch VTRP, this probably doesn't make any sense, but yeah, that whole like plot line, I think I accidentally did that. Whatever, it's not important, but Yeah. I wouldn't look too much into it from like a me and Apollyon perspective, but they are involved, right? Because I'm playing the character and it's meta. It's meta to do that, right? The wizard and the war, there was a lot of that shit. I didn't do all that, let's be real. Is Jake free on Saturday at 7? Does he like steak? Yeah, he likes it cooked well done. Is he free Saturday at 7? I don't know. Where is he right now? Hello, Double Dragon Claw. Welcome in. It's separate from my lore, correct. I mean, here's the thing. I am technically an alien. And that's what I like about extraterrestrials and gods. Is like, my lore is godly, but it's also really like I'm just kind of an extraterrestrial, really. I came from another planet. I was an inhabitant and I brought the sun to this planet. I'm more an alien than I am a god. Which makes sense because I have little antennae and I'm a bug, right? Is Jake free on Saturday? I don't know what Jake is even doing right now. What he ended on the beach and the Zeke is mad at him. Can I eat the sun? You know the sun is 15 million degrees Celsius. 15,000 or 15 million degrees Celsius in the core. You eat it, you can't eat it. It eats you. I'm brave. I don't think you could do it. Even if you're like a dragon or whatever, I think you die. No, I don't think you can. I think the sun's too powerful for you. You could eat the outside. It's only like 500 degrees Celsius or whatever. 5,000? 500? It's got to be more than 500 on the surface. It's probably 5,000. Who would win? I would win every time. The sun wins always. The sun always wins. What beats the sun? Nothing. A black hole? Nothing. Nothing beats me. I'm the best. All right. Yeah, is he free? I guess he is. I don't think you're gonna have a good date with him. He's not a good dater. Do you guys like sopping wet males? If so, then yeah, I guess he'd be a great date for you. He's pretty useless. Which is like, okay, so here's like a thing I saw a lot. I've noticed like maybe Aurora had a nice date with him. What do you mean? Well, that was, I mean, like, I think in reality, I didn't play the character the best at all times because he grew. I'm trying to think of how I want to put this. A lot of people towards the end were a little bit sad that their characters ended up with nobody and that and it made their characters feel like unwanted. I know that it's like a big thing with people, and I'm going to sit here and say to everybody, it is more compelling for your character to develop that in other elements, like later, like other stories and other, take that, like, here's the thing. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Now, love and marriage is like super, it's a huge thing for humans, right? So I don't think people should feel bad that they didn't like just do that at the end. I think like a lot of people felt kind of bad about it. And like that their character wasn't wanted or sexy. And even I at times was like, fuck, dude. Like everybody is really likes these sexy, flirtatious characters, and I'm just not that. So at times I did, and boy did it almost get me. I did feel like that. And that's why Zeke was nice, because I could kind of be like cool a little bit, even though I'm not cool. Yeah, love and relationships. Yeah, people were trying to rush it in 12 days. I think like just let your character do that later. I think it is. I think it's that human thing. And I'm not going to speak for people because it's their character and they can do what they want. But some of the relationships that took place, I think were like natural. And for those characters, and that's one of the biggest things too, is like, as the viewer, you have to look at another, like, I think like I saw a post about this where, I think Vox was talking about some people watching and how they can't separate the reality from the story. So the fact that some people were doing it is terrifying, because I would have been scared to do that. You pitied? No, it wasn't pity. I guess it felt like we just had to, you know, we both didn't have money to go with. Wasn't that the point? Some people were hilarious, like being each other's tax wife. Yeah, that was funny. But I'm not gonna comment too much on like the relationship stuff. You make amazing, great points. But I am a helpless romantic, and romance is my favorite. Well, those go together as well. I think like I don't know. I struggle with it because like I just think romance is hard in roleplay especially when you're streaming it. It adds an element that is really scary. And a lot of people were doing it, and I was scared. Jake's whole, like, being, like, enamored with, like, Tonight was more so, honestly, selfishly for him as a character than it was to ever actually get into, like, anything with Tonight. Like, he wasn't aiming for that to, like, really be in a relationship. He just had to, like, say what he had to say about how he felt. And that was big for him because he's never felt that way. And he's also didn't understand his emotions and had to tell somebody. But the only person he could tell was the person who was making him feel that way. And that's why I really liked those little talks, because it was like, I don't know, it felt right. It felt like a good, compelling narrative device. Which does sound sad, but they are characters. So being in love and dating is a narrative device. We're telling a story, you know? It was a big deal for him to get to be able to speak freely and have someone listen, too. So shout out Land for letting him talk. Because who the fuck else was he going to talk about with that? Stuart? God, no. Stuart's a mess. Anyways, is he free on 7? Yeah, he'll be a horrible date to you. He won't even look you in the eyes. Is the Sunbug/Z tied to your learning or technically alien? Are they also aliens? Yeah, they're aliens. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. I kind of already answered your question, sorry. The romance roleplay is hard to watch. It is hard to watch. Yeah, you got to be careful with it. It's hard. It's really hard. And that's why I don't do it. Maybe one day I can try. I don't think it's going to happen. But it is compelling to do it because there are some things you can achieve with your character. And I know I'm viewing this like in a way that's like I'm writing a book when there are people involved with these characters. But it's roleplay, and like the most important rule of roleplay is not to get caught up in you. And that's very hard to do because you're playing the character. So of course your emotions and the things that you want to achieve are tied into your character intrinsically. So your ability to separate the two is very difficult, and it's why a lot of people struggle with roleplay. They can't separate themselves from their character. If their character loses, it feels like a slight on them. If their characters win, it feels great for them, and vice versa. Like my parasocialism for Kneel Down, aw man. Listen, Kneel Down was never gonna happen for anybody. That was the point of Kneel Down and Tonight, is they were their hosts. They were in love with money. They were good, compelling characters because they cared about their employees. They did not care about love. They cared about getting on top at whatever thing they needed to do necessary. Whatever ends they needed, they would meet it. If that required whatever thing to happen, they would do it. They were never, Neil and Tonight's characters, from how I viewed them, is they were never going to get involved with that. And that's why they're really compelling characters, because they were hosts that everybody wanted to date, but in reality, those dates probably never would go anywhere because they care about money and they care about what their goals are, which we still don't know what they are. I didn't really get to talk to Neil. Neil did take thirst traps, but you are right. Yeah, he took thirst traps because Neil's vain. I mean, everybody took thirst traps. But that's also their job. They took thirst traps probably to get people to go on dates with them and get money. That's the point. That's what I view, right? I mean, like, that's what I am seeing as a person who interacted with these characters, right? That's how I felt. And those are the characters I saw the most. I got to watch Vanilla Unicorn people the most. I didn't get to really see anybody else very much, to be honest with you. So Neil and I were just a platonic couple since I guess Neil isn't free to date at all. And then Neither got shot by Hella when she got rejected. I heard about that. Thank God I talked to Hella before I went and talked to Tonight, because yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hella told me it was an accident. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it was an accident. And I talked to Hella's character as the Sunbug, and you know, yeah, I talked to Hella Butte, so it was also a really compelling character that I think did not get a lot of light. She meant to fire, but the shots. Wait, she meant to fire, but the shots all hit every single one of them. Oh. What do you mean she meant to fire outside? Wait, what? She was trying to shoot outside and shot you? What, did she drive by you? What happened? Fire at the walls and floor. Horrible aim. All you gotta do is aim it down. How did she hit you? Anyway. We'll talk, Eliza. Atlantis, Miss Night, free tomorrow at 7. Me first. Me. But all the bullets hit me, all of them. That is funny. Get in line. I was already in. I was in line far before any of you. Back off, punk gutter punks. Back off. The line starts behind me, actually. Yeah, okay. All right, buddy. You wish. You can't handle all that, little bro. But yeah, yes, the Sunbug is an alien, and you know, gods and aliens. What are the difference? That's how I like to approach it. Either can you? Look at me. I can handle anything. I can flip people with my horns. I can flip them. Look, I can flip you. And I have big yellow eyes. Wait, where are they? Where's my big yellow eyes? No, those are my. There we go. See, big yellow eyes that scare you. Big yellow eyes that terrify you and scare you. See? All right, moving on. What's your favorite moment? Wait. I have a theory that the lightning that struck Jake wasn't actually lightning, but something alien, and that's how Zeke got to know how off-base am I. You literally hit it on the head. I think, didn't I mention that, though? I feel like I mentioned that. Did I not? Did I ever mention this? You could barely handle Mildred. Mildred's a fucking... That was funny. God, what a character. Make us funny. I don't recall. Maybe I didn't. But yes, I mean, we've talked about it. That is true. Yes, he was struck by lightning, and the lightning was like a seed of like an extraterrestrial. Yeah. Hello, Histy. Hi. Histy, the hopeless romantic, just like Hylo. Wow. That's funny. So many, and if fucking Hazumi was here. What's your favorite moment between Stuart and Jake? There's so many. The beach with Roberto Frank, which we'll watch. Dude, me and Bettel are we're really good and bad for each other because we understand how to roleplay with each other and we're our safety nets, but we can't get shit done with each other. Nothing ever happens. Is your boss the devil? He's worse. Stuart Smalls! Yeah, we're just idiots, man. I mean, that was really funny. That was my favorite moment. It was fun as shit. It was so funny. It almost didn't happen on my POV because I wasn't live. I was in great pain from this. I think I broke, Bettel and I broke the most we've ever broken. Like, if you guys go back and watch Bettel on like VTRP season 1, he never broke. He broke maybe once from Flayon. Season 2, he broke a few times. And this season, or District V, he was unable to keep it in. The gnarled visage of Roberto Frank. Yeah, that was awesome. That was my favorite moment. We'll watch that on the clip. There was a feeling that players didn't get to interact outside of their role. What would you change to prevent that? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say something that might be controversial. I think here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody needs a role. Here I'll lay out 3 things. Here's 3 ways that I think this could be fixed. 1, before the server starts, there are pre-established gangs and factions. There are 3 people chosen to be leaders. They have a lieutenant or whoever. They can pre-select the people they want to be in it, but they should let other people in to those gangs. I do not think gangs should be capped. I do not think that the amount of people in gangs should be capped. It's up to them to let in people they want to let in the gang. 2, everybody should have a job of some sort, not a secondary job. Secondary jobs should be secondary, like post office and like mining and fishing. Everybody should have some sort of job or be in a faction. 3, there should be shifts. You should clock in and you should not be allowed to be clocked in all night unless you have to be. The reason that we were not able to interact with cops ever, they were always clocked in. The reason I was never able to interact with EMS, that once again, this is all selfish. And maybe they feel the same. Or maybe they were content just being with each other, and that's fine. But if they had shifts like humans do, and they clocked in and out, like let's say they clock in for 2 hours, they have 30 minutes on break. They clock in for another 2 hours, they have another 30 minutes on break, or an hour. Shifts are necessary to if you want people to interact, or otherwise it's just not going to happen, man. You can't. It's impossible. I think shifts there should be a labor division, and that labor division should force them to take a break. And once again, guys, I am entirely being selfish in this regard. The reason I wanted this to happen is because I want to hang out with people. Like, I'm a people person. I want to meet people. I want to hang out with people, and I want to talk to them, and I want to get to know their character, and I want to help them with their character the same way that they want to be helped. And not everybody needs that or wants that. But I mean, selfishly, yeah, I want to talk to some of the people in EMS that I never got to talk to. There are cops that I don't think I ever maybe talked to one time. So yeah, the burger weather people or the burger shop people probably didn't even talk to like half of them. Mechanics I did, and VU I did too, but that's what I would do. I would either do factions pre-established, which are gangs not capped, which I think there was a cap of 2 or 3 gangs, and shifts. Did you meet anyone new to you in the server who you really bonded with? I think the most obvious to me, obviously Bettle is not new, right? Ruse is not new. I think Lan and I clicked in like a roleplay sense that, yeah, I was gonna say Lan is 100% like the top, I think, of like a new person that I really bonded with. I think that we have the same ideas and we are very good at role-playing together. And it really is fun role-playing with Lan a lot. And Mildred is funny. Mildred fucking Mako terrorized me. Absolutely terrorized me. If Lan is like the angel, Mako was my devil. Mako drove me fucking nuts, but I loved it. When I was in the car shooting at the cops, when we did that chase scene, and I'm the only one, fucking Duncan is doing nothing. Mildred is in the back seat, fucking just being like, you suck at driving. I'm gonna strangle her. I'm the only one shooting the cops to try to get them to stop chasing us. I'm fucking doing barrel rolls and flipping out my hand backwards, pointing out the window, shooting cops, trying to get them off our tail, and they're sitting in the car with a fucking Happy Meal and a bib, watching Coco Melon on the fucking TV. When I get a hold of those motherfuckers, I'm gonna strangle them in between my fucking hand and watch the life leave their eyes.
I'm gonna watch the life leave their eyes. Ah! Ah!
In Minecraft, of course. She was busy slapping her fat belly. Yeah, I feel the fucking accent change in that scene, by the way. Oh my god. Yeah, her meow, meow. Mako's funny as shit. Anyway, I think like top like couple that I met, and I didn't really get to meet a lot. I liked the people that I've never roleplayed with before was like obviously like Shiki. I already knew I was gonna like roleplaying with Shiki. Lan was a very high standout for me. Mako as Mildred. Ben Boto, the one day I got to roleplay with Ben Boto, the fact that he went along with us with Ooby Gooby, I just wish I got to roleplay with him more. I mean, you guys already know I know Chloe and I know Envy and I know a bunch of the people, so they're not new to me. Frayed was great as Dweemer. I love Dweemer. Standout. I know that probably Frayed was like, fuck, I think that Frayed was feeling kind of like he wanted to roleplay a character that was like a little less silly, but God, I'm glad he did not. If Dweemer didn't exist, I don't know what would have happened. I really hope he doesn't regret playing Dwemer at all, or that he doesn't feel like he needs to do anything different, because Dwemer was perfect. Dwemer was perfect the way he was, and I would not like him to change ever. I really liked him. Some people that I wish I got to roleplay with would be Nana as Rokunan. We were talking in DMs about like how we never got to see each other. Oh, Vox, who I've never roleplayed with. Solomon Serpico, he is a fucking fantastic role player. He was an amazing police chief, he's an amazing role player, and he's a good person. He cares about what other people go through in roleplay. He wants people to have good scenes. He's not selfish at all in that regard. He just wants people to roleplay well, and I'm very impressed with his roleplay a lot. In a big way. In a big way. Dude, I wish I got to roleplay him with him more. I was gonna do a whole thing and you guys didn't see it on stream. Yeah, my exchange with him was really fun. He's very good at roleplaying, and I'm very happy that I got to even talk to him a little bit. He was great. Who else? I'm trying to think of so many people. I mean, everybody I met was just fucking awesome, you know? Oh, there's people in the fucking... There are people playing League of Legends right now. I'm calling them out. They're playing League of Legends without me. They're playing League. Fuck you. They're playing League without me in there. I'm gonna crash out. Bastards. I don't know. I just so many shout outs. Like B. I'm so happy B got in because B was a standout. Mocha was a standout. Like Wafo, my friends, I'm being selfish. Like B, Wafo, and Mocha getting in was fantastic. All three of them were very much loved. All three of them in different factions. All three of them very well beloved, very deserving of the attention that they got, and great role players. And I'm so happy they got in. Obviously, I'm being selfish there. There's a ton of people. I can't go through the whole list. It would take me forever. I can't. There's everybody. Everybody was great. Eliza was great as the judge, as a dysfunctional judge. Everybody was great. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna sit here forever and just talk about how awesome everybody is if I do this. So, does Jake have a favorite cryptid alien? What was his reaction be to meeting one? Well, he did, and his reaction slowly became he didn't care. Like, here's the thing. In the beginning, I don't think I expected there to be so many characters, because I was really expecting everybody to be normal, but nobody was. So it was funny because the whole conspiracy thing slowly turned into everything is real. It's not a conspiracy. It is real. Aliens are real. He was just right. It's not a conspiracy. Everything was proven. Everything is rigged. There's a fucking a hollow earth that he fell through over and over again. There's demons and angels. There's fucking fish people. It was real. There's sexy women, because sexy women are a conspiracy theory. There's stupid men. Everything was real. Everything was proven. There's Toad, Mr. Toad. There's Bob Burgerweather, the American. That's a conspiracy. The jet skis. The jet skis are a conspiracy. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Toad proved that something was real and that it was turning the frogs gay. His favorite cryptid or alien? I feel like he probably likes traditional gray aliens. He's probably a big, like, I think he's more into like those doctored images of like shriveled up aliens and like black and white photos in the desert. I feel like he's probably very into that. Same with like, I think the ice walls and hollow earth and like angels and giants and giant bird people, and mostly because he's a doctor in anthropology, I wanted that to like lean into like his belief in civilizations and their gods and how those are aliens, right? Because as you guys know, like a big thing with conspiracy theorists is that like a lot of aliens or like a lot of gods and like depictions of things are just aliens to people. So that one image of the mummified alien, yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, like, I wanted him to not believe in dinosaurs, but one time I was like, I love dinosaurs because I saw a dinosaur, but I wanted him to not believe in them. I wanted him to not believe in the evident. Like, he's like, did you know that like he doesn't believe people land on the moon, he doesn't believe in space is real, but he believes in like, you know, that kind of thing. Like, he believes we didn't land on it, that it was a simulation kind of shit. You may have talked about this previously, but for also may have missed it. Did you have any character inspirations for Jake's personality? No. Jake's voice was based off of my rendition of, and I keep forgetting the character's name, a voice that I did in Deltarune for, I forget the name of the character. Fuck. Ralsei. I would talk like this. He was supposed to talk like this, like a lot, and be very soft-spoken and talk like, but I couldn't keep it up. It fell. There was points where I was just talking like me. I couldn't keep it up. He was supposed to talk like this, like the whole time, and be very, you know, wispy and very like curious and polite and whatever. But I just could not. I can't. And Jake was a challenge for me that I failed wholeheartedly. He was a challenge that I learned from and a challenge that I failed. The fact that anybody could stay in a voice for that long, by fucking golly, I should have been Ooby Gooby the entire time. I would have had a better chance of being Ooby fucking Gooby than I had to be fucking Jake L. Hyde. You know? Yeah, that's true. We did do that. Ooby Gooby. I should have just been Ooby Gooby the whole time. I mean, let's be real. Ooby Gooby 2B. I was not Ooby Gooby. I was Ooby Gooby 2B. And then Bing Bong Bim was Ben Boto, and then Stinky Pinky was Shiki, was Duncan. But yeah, no inspirations for his personality necessarily, no. Just a very, like I said, a very soft-spoken, mousy, nerdy, introverted, and unconfident, stuttering mess of a man. Wearing a sweater, and his mom dresses him before he gets to the airport. What's Jake's MBTI type? Oh God, I only know mine. He's definitely an introvert, even though he became extroverted. GTRP is the most unserious thing ever. God, it's hard. It's hard, man. Waking up to Ooby Gooby. Oh my God. Oh yeah, you did walk up to Ooby Gooby. You did. And you're like, hello, Ooby Gooby. Take us to your leader. Oh yeah, my leader's in that car. And then we walk over and he ran away. Evil Teletubbies. It was, I'm Ooby Gooby. That shit was so funny. It was just really funny. Yeah, we kept getting run over by the, it was Shiki that got ran over. That was awesome. No inspiration. I don't know his type. He's an introvert. I don't know enough about the types other than mine. I'll be real with you. Dude, the fucking locals were murderous. They were murderous. And they went through an entire surgery doing the Ooby Gooby. Yep. I saw that. You guys, maybe you guys assign his type, and I'll look it up. What do you think Jake's favorite book series would be? His favorite book series? That's a good question. Well, I don't know what his fit. You know, I'm trying to think real hard because I don't like. I'm not a big. He like Percy Jackson in the light in the the U.S. Constitution. That's his favorite. He'd probably like fucking Warrior. No, he wouldn't like Warrior Cats. What am I kidding? No, I don't think he'd like Percy Jackson either. Well, what do he like? Something about the grassy knoll, probably. I don't know. I don't fucking. He'd probably like Catcher in the Rye. Twin Peaks? Okay, Twin Peaks is good. He might like Catcher in the Rye a lot. He's probably really into Catcher in the Rye. I don't know. Just because of it. That's not a series, though. Yeah, maybe Catcher in the Rye. Flowers for Algernon is very good. X-Files, yeah, I wonder if he would like actually think X-Files is real though, or he would think I don't think he was allowed to watch X-Files. My thought is that he got all of his information from library computers. Like I don't think he had a computer in his home until he was very much older. But I think he was always on library computers, and that's where he read all about things like that. That's where he got all of that information, you know, probably things like that. He'd def watch Unsolved Mysteries. I just don't know if he'd have access to it. I really viewed him as like a very shut-in kid. The first penis he ever saw was doodled in a book that he borrowed, probably. Other than his own. Or a cooter. Was he homeschooled? No, I don't think so. Oh, well, I don't know. No, because he wasn't, his parents weren't conspiracy theorists. So I don't think he, not that you have to be a conspiracy theorist to be homeschooled. Hold on, let me pause. No, I don't think he was. I think he was sent to school for a formal education. I think Unsolved Mysteries was on public access TV. What did he have? I don't know. I have to think about it more. That's a good question. I've always been intrigued since the beginning, but now especially since the big allure drop at the end of District V. But why does Jacob latch onto conspiracy theories, his belief of aliens and monsters, as hard as he does? Does it have something to do with his family life and upbringing? Did he stumble upon it one day online and he ended up getting invested? Is it a way to cope with dealings, whatever exactly Zeke is? I'm curious. That's a very good question. This is a really good question. So, as you guys know, or maybe you don't, conspiracy theorists are not stupid people. They are not stupid. They are incredibly analytical, and the result of conspiracy theorists and their beliefs are mostly derived psychologically from a lack of control in their life and their ability to comprehend that something can be normal. Like, a lot of conspiracy theorists, the reason they are the way they are is because they lack a form of control in their life, and their ability to control that is to be like, the government's doing it. It's the aliens. It's like the people under the ground. There's an ice wall. It's like, they are usually people who are downtrodden, individuals who are lower income, or stuff like that. That is usually the case for conspiracy theorists. If it is the opposite, it's usually people who are actually not very smart, right? But the ones who aren't are usually smart people who are incredibly invested in the idea that they have no control over everything. That is usually the case with people who believe in that, and that is the case for Jake. He is incredibly self-conscious. He was brought up very sheltered, and as a result of having no control from his parents and feeling like he had no way to rebel because he was never given the chance, his ideas that his inability to control himself and his life was the direct result of puppeteers, like individuals pulling the strings from behind, the government, and, you know, those sorts of conspiracies like that. Exactly, Hinkar. That's the big reason. That's why it's a good question, and that's why he latches onto conspiracy theories. Another thing with it is that he's just paranoid as a result of probably Zeke possessing him, and it caused him to go delve further into that. And it was probably an easier way for people to be like, well, this guy like is a little he's a little off his rocker, and it's probably because he believes in all these conspiracy theories. It's not because he's like possessed or whatever, you know? Even though they wouldn't believe that. Can I ask what happened with Joey? He just wasn't needed. Joey was Roberto Frank. He was my, he was my failsafe. He was my glass breaker. He was my break glass, or rather. He was I shatter this if I need him, and at no point did I feel like Joey Provolone Fatone was needed. I don't think he would have fit in. I don't think he would have been able to get into a gang, and therefore he was not used. He's shelved for now, that fat fuck. / positive. That fat, beautiful fuck. Old Joey Jumpscare Fatone. Yep. Provolone. Joey Provolone Fatone. Fat Fuck Friday. Will you bring him out? I don't know. I don't know. The answer is I don't. The next roleplay event I'm doing has not been announced, but I will say it's coming up soon. Another roleplay event that I'm going to be doing. Maybe not as hard, but I think that a certain someone and I'm not going to say who they are gonna plan like a character duo together. So I'm not gonna say because I don't know if they want to announce that they are going to be involved in that, so I'm not gonna call them out. I'm back in the fucking. It's not gonna be as crazy. I do have to go away for a little bit during it. Yeah, can we get a Joey's jump scare? Where the fuck is he? I don't know where he is. I think I deleted him. Where is he? Nope, that's League of Legends. I don't know where he is, guys. Hold on. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is Joey? I don't know where he is. Oh, I have it labeled under Big Cheese. There he is. Guys, maybe I would have pulled if I played him. Maybe he would have been in love. Tonight would have loved him. I don't think Tonight would have loved Joey Prevalent Fatone. I do not think that is the case. I don't think anybody could have loved this big lud. This big lug. This big, beautiful man. Joey Prevalent Fatone. God rest his soul. He never existed. He has unimaginable riz. What are you talking about? He's like, hey, I'm fucking Joey. I'm Joey Fatone, bro, alone. You say it as if he doesn't have so many people who love him. Yeah, but you like him because he's hideous. You don't love him because he's beautiful. Why? Dweemer's dad? No. Dweemer's dad is Mr. Weezer. What would he be in an AU where he did exist? He was a mafioso. There was a joke for those who played Star Wars: The Old Republic due to the 3 different body types needs to eat a cheeseburger. Has cheeseburger is made out of cheeseburgers. This guy definitely made out of cheeseburgers. Oh yeah, dude. Is it Switch? I really wanted to play that game. It was an MMO, right, SWTOR? Or maybe that was Knights of the Old Republic. I know there was Star Wars Knights the Old Republic, and I know there was Knights of the Old Republic. I think SWTOR was the MMO. But I did want to play that. Made out of cheeseburger. Yeah, Joey is a made out of cheeseburgers guy. But there's no fat body type, so I couldn't be a big chud, big chungus. But yeah, this is a good question. Thanks for the kind of like, yeah, the more in-depth question here. I really appreciate that. What do you think Jake's direction is in life after the end of District V? I was very, very sure that Jake would not have a big ending, and I'm glad he didn't. I did not want him to die. I did not want him to... I wanted it to feel like it wasn't over. Because Barnacles is, Barnacles met a fate befitting of a knight. He died in a way that he wanted to give himself up for the lives of others, the way that he believed he should have, and his first like actual good deed, which was a very beautiful and succinct ending for him, to die for others and to not ask for anything in return, even though his god was selfish in that regard, which a lot of people have pointed out. You would have loved Ooby Gooby. Rest in peace, Barnacles. Exactly. I don't know what his direction is. I don't know if he goes back into the minds of Amort now. I don't know if he goes back into the minds of conspiracies or if he realizes yet. It seems as though he now knows that he's possessed, but he doesn't understand what Zeke is. He doesn't think that Zeke is bad. If anything, he thinks the Sunbug is bad, which creates an interesting dichotomy, because where Barnacles thought the Sunbug was his god that had abandoned him, Jake believes that the, Zeke or Seek or, whatever I decide to name him at the end, is a being that he thinks wants the best for him in whatever way that is. He's not sure it's something else. He thinks it's him. And he doesn't know how to utilize that. So I want to play with that more. I don't know how. I don't know if there will be another District V. I don't know if he'll come in another server. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. And it's hard to think about right now. I just want to think about going to sleep at a normal time, if that makes sense. Is Jake ever aware of the beings controlling him? Sorry if I missed. Oh, I just talked about this. Damn. I don't think he understands it. And I think it's better. I'm going to skip this ad break. I think it's better that Jake doesn't understand that he is being controlled. I think it's better if he thinks that it is a part of him. It's some voice in his head. It's just him. I think it's better that he thinks there's an evil, or not an evil in his head. I don't know how to explain it. I want him to not know, because I think it's more interesting that if he doesn't believe that he is. It's hard to say, and I haven't figured out how that's going to manifest or if he understands. But at the end, Zeke very clearly speaks to him and is very, very frantic and very obsessed in a very yandere way where he is kind of in love with Jake. I think Zeke has a very parasocial relation with the one he has taken control of. He's a parasite. He thinks he's really close. You can tell he's very he wants in. Which is a very interesting thing. I have to figure out how to I need to figure out how to broach that subject in time, Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. He had to fight. He had to not shoot that guy, which was kind of nice because I'm glad he didn't. But no, you didn't. Is Zeke like Venom? So I don't know much about Venom in the symbiote. I actually don't know a lot about. That's a good question, Raccoon. I don't know much about Venom, so I don't know if he is. I know that it's like a symbiote and that Venom is like an alien, right? He came down and latched on to and took over. I don't think that Zeke is like a symbiote necessarily, if that is what it is. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know anything about Venom. I mean, let's be real. This idea is not an unexplored idea. This idea is just a take on many ideas that have been written before. So it's very possible that it's a similar story, you know? Do you know what happened that caused Jake and Stuart to swap roles that one time? Like when your game so that Jake was an attorney and Stuart was a prosecutor. Swap roles that one time. We had decided to go back and forth just because the game, the mod or whatever they were using had prosecutors and defense, but we didn't always want to be prosecutor and defense. That's it. There's no really real big thing to that. It was just that we all didn't want to be prosecutor and defense all the time. That's it. Yeah. That's it. It was more fun if we were able to do that. Yeah. Sorry, this isn't a question, but I'm a Japanese listener who recently became a fan of yours. I discovered your talent through DistrictV. I've been laughing my head off at your archives ever since. Thank you for participating. I'm using a translation, so I apologize if the words sound right. Oh my god, thank you. That's so nice. That makes me very happy. Well, thanks so much for watching. You know, I'm happy that you're able to understand what I'm saying. And I'm sorry if I speak fast, but I'm glad that you have fun. I know there was an individual who was in, and I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but they were like a fully Japanese speaking individual, and they were so cute. They got married at the end to Omi, but they were very sweet, and it was so crazy. Yeah, Tara. It was insane that like the fact that like they felt confident enough to be in the server with a bunch of people speaking English fast and being crazy and stick with through it every day and like do it was awesome. I think that was great. That takes a lot of energy and honestly being brave to like, I'm imagining myself on a server full of JP speakers and not fully understanding everything happening. I would be so scared. So the fact that they were doing that is amazing. But thank you for listening. I hope that you had fun. It's nice to hear that somebody from another country likes what I'm doing. So thank you for watching. I hope you continue to watch and pop by sometime. How does it feel to be the greatest double doctorate to ever do it? Lawyers have jury's doctorate, technically. Also, how long was Jake a graduate student? Which degree did he get first? He got his anthropology degree probably first, and then he probably felt unable to do anything with it, and he was probably forced to get a law degree, or he was doing both at the same time. It's not really evident because the law degree came last. But because he's 30, this would very much point out that he probably just graduated. Because as you guys know, people with doctorates, they spend a lot of their time in academia. They don't usually leave academia. When you're a doctorate student, you usually become a teacher, a professor, an assistant. You're kind of in academia for life when you're a doctorate. Unless you're a doctor, like a medical doctor, a practitioner, somebody who practices something like that. You're usually in that kind of thing for a long, long time after, depending on your role. So he probably just didn't like it and left. That's it. It probably happened at the same time. He is supposed to be kind of a genius, but even though I'm an idiot, which is why it was really hard to play because I'm an idiot, so I don't know how to play a genius. Yeah, Masters is still impressive. That's still incredibly impressive. But yeah, I think that he got probably them both at the same time, I would say. I did kind of imply that his doctorate wasn't real. I'm still toying with the idea that it isn't. I don't know. It's hard to say. Are there any characters or plotlines you weren't involved with directly that you enjoyed finding out about now that the server's over? Any passing ships moment? Honestly, all of them. Like the cop stuff with Marcus, and like I never got to figure out the Marcus thing. I don't understand why he did what he did at all. And I was toying with the idea of Jake kind of going insane a little bit as a result of he feels like he spurred that on, but that felt a little selfish to be like Jake was the reason that he did that. But he did kidnap Adler, and then Marcus Macaroni shot Adler and felt really bad about it. And that is what kind of spiraled him, I believe, into like that. He also, I know he had to leave OC. But I was toying with I just never got to really like play through with it. a lot of the cop stuff I really wish I could. If you're not a cop, you can't really be involved with that, unfortunately. That's just kind of the case of it. I wish I could have been involved in more of the heists and crime. That's kind of it. I mean, honestly, I don't know a ton of else that happened in terms of big plot, you know? Like, I know that Tim was in a gang. I know that the Bachelors were a gang. Did you ever see the reason how the cops were on to you? Yeah, when we got kidnapped, what I understand is that, or sorry, when we kidnapped Adler, it pinged the cops and Marcus saw it immediately. Saw immediately that there was a ping and like kind of like freaked out and was like, we gotta go. And they all tracked it and he was just driving and he saw us at the gas station, which is one of those things where it's like, damn, we were fucking around. But it's one of those things in GTA that like I struggle with as like and this isn't like me saying anything about anybody, but if you see people at a gas station, right, and there's locals, how do you roleplay knowing that those are people and that they're not just locals at the gas station? That was like my biggest thing. I was like, how do they know those aren't just people at the gas station? Because Adler wasn't out. She was in the car at the pump. And it was just, maybe that was just people talking in the parking lot. It's one of those things where like, I get why it happened. The reason, and I went off on like, I feel bad about it, but afterwards I definitely like shut down a little bit and I was like, fuck, dude. This was like the plot I really wanted to do, and it got unraveled in like 5 seconds. Like, I was like cooking and stewing on this plot of to take, you know, I asked the admins with B if we could kidnap Adler so we could turn this into like, we go till the end of the night, they're unable to find Adler. It can go into the morning and then they eventually find her and we just like, we kind of vanish into the night. And there's this other faction of unknown individuals who are like kind of out there, and that's something for the detectives to do. I really wanted the detectives to have a role other than just patrols. I really wanted to give like the 6 or 7 detectives like their opportunity to do research, like to do detective work. So when we were instantly found, I was like, oh my fucking God, this sucks. And then like me coming out of that area and just happening to run into the cops, really, it bummed me out. I felt like, I felt bad. But I realized at the end of it, and a lot of people messaged me afterwards and like, were like, you know, I'm sorry that you feel bad about it, but just know that it wasn't your fault, XYZ. And like, I'm a human. I was not incredibly satisfied with that premise. And, you know, I got over it and I almost didn't come back because I was like, well, fuck, I feel like an idiot. I feel like I kind of fucked up and like I caused a lot of chaos for people that they didn't want. So I was feeling very, very, very like not great about myself in the moment and that I had like stepped on people's toes. So, but people kind of talked me off the proverbial cliff of just not coming back. So I'm glad I did. Yeah, I really wanted, and this isn't like anybody's fault. It just is the way it happened and they saw us. So yeah, I wish that got to really unfold, because the idea was never to hurt any cops or anything. He did get there first? I was under the impression that Marcus got there first. Yeah, it was understandable to be frustrated, but I think I like kind of I definitely should not have gotten that frustrated. It was just an IC thing. I wasn't mad at anybody OC. I was just like really, I was frustrated with myself like I always am. Whenever I'm frustrated, I always am frustrated at myself. It's like that with everything. I get really down on myself, so. Well, the bike was fine. We wanted them to find the bike. The bike was understandable. The bike was supposed to be the clue that Adler was even taken. There's nothing wrong with them finding the bike. That was the only way they would have ever known that we took Adler, and if we had not called. Them finding the bike is like the first step in the game that is being a detective. That's the first clue. You have to leave a clue like that. Yeah. The detectives can do that a standard patrol person can do with a flashlight. I have no idea about the mechanics at all. But I definitely wanted to be involved in more, and that's everybody. Everybody wants to be involved in more, but you can't. Sometimes you can't. There's a lot of people, and I'm okay with that. At the end of it, I'm happy with the people I met, and I think that's the most important thing to take out of it. I'm happy, even though I'm not super happy with my performance a lot of the time. But I can't help that. I can't help how I feel about that. That's just how I'm gonna feel because I'm hard on myself. How hard was it to keep in character as Jake L. Hyde during the whole event? Oh my god, I barely did. I was basically like leaking into me the entire time. We just got there at the point of kidnapping. Marcus then went up north and found the nearest gas station, which there you guys were. Yeah, that's true. Man, what a fucking... And then apparently Stuart did see but said nothing. So they knew we were in the tunnel the whole time. Which is funny. The Bone Cruncher was a bad... He's bad. He sucked. It was very hard to beat Jake L. Hyde. It was so hard. It was almost impossible. Because like I said, he was supposed to be quiet. He was supposed to be... The intent was that he was gonna be like really meek and sometimes a little strung out and like sometimes crash out and be real, but like I felt like if I was like that all the time, nobody would want to interact with my character. So like I pulled back on it hard. Oh, there's an ad break. All right, I'll filibuster. Guys, how's your day? I'm gonna lean back in my chair and think about life. Guys, how was your day? How's everybody's Friday? Did you eat a fry today? Oh, stretch. Stretchy Vu. Streamer, someone broke in your car? What'd they take? I had pizza and chicken nugget and honey mustard. Chinese meal? Oh, you get a succulent Chinese meal, Tabby? That's awesome. It was okay. It could have been better, but the weekend is here. That's what I'm saying. The weekend's here. Let's fucking cheer up. It's March. My day has turned terrible. I'm sorry. It's my fault, Rem. I ate Chipotle. Big bowl break. Decent got a bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's. Huge, if true. What chrysanthemum tea? What are you, a wizard? They destroyed my steering wheel cover to try and steal the car. What the fuck? And they didn't even do it? Well, I'm glad they didn't do that, Hinkara. My mental health has never been worse. Well, I hope it gets better, and all it can do is be better. And you will get through it. So don't worry. Don't worry. You will get through it. I bought the 1984 book today. Excited to read it for the first time. I've never read 1984. Surprisingly, as an English major. I had an entire container of cherry tomatoes. You're gonna grow a tomato seed. You're gonna grow a tomato plant in your stomach. Dealing with a cold? Oh, it's warm for me. Playing ZZ. Oh, Angels of Delusions are here. Oh. Succulent Chinese meal. Ooh, creamy codro pasta. Oh yeah, you have the infinite tomato glitch, Ophelia Avalon. I gotta turn this hot. It got rainy. Yeah, it's kind of fucking poop out, even though the weather is like the weather temperature is nice. Driver's license. Whoa, big. Now you can go drive to your local 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee. You quit your internship site and I've never felt happier. Well, if you're happy, that's good. That's a good sign of afterwards you feel happy. All right, ad break over. Guys, let's lock in. It's 2 hours and I haven't watched a single clip. We need to go. It was hard to beat Jake L. Hyde, is what I'll say. I found it incredibly difficult, and it was a challenge that I do not think that I succeeded in, but I tried. What would you change in the storyline or even about the event itself if you had a chance? I think I talked about it. I would change all the things I said. I think that factions should be more evident for people if you want everybody to have a chance to be involved in something. If you really want it to be gang wars, cops and robbers, that's what you need. And ships for people would be really good, I think. For the storyline, I really wish that, one, Remy Radicini's murder was discovered. And two, that we didn't get caught so quick. But they were just on it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. They were fucking on it. They were good. They did it. I'm Brazilian. We have neither. You don't have 7-Eleven? You don't have Slurpees? What's God? Where's God? Where's God in this Brazilian Chili's tonight? Yeah, I really wanted it to be found. It just didn't. And I told Serpico that he was murdered, and I know they couldn't really do anything about that. I get it. What the point? He did not stream after getting killed. That was not our intent. There was never a discussion between any of us for him to permanently die. He just did. Or we think he did. We don't know if he died. We have no idea. We just assume he did. We never went back to check if the body was there. Abba took our fucking her moped. Yeah, I think there should be something like that to make it a little more interesting. It's hard to say that. It's very nuanced. I had a lot of fun, so, you know. A lot of the most fun parts were the social parts, like during like beach day, Sakura Village after, which I didn't stream because I really just wanted to get to know people, like not in a stream environment. One of my favorite parts was after the event ended and we were all in the airport together, and I was talking to everybody, like, and like, I don't know, I really liked that. I mean, I've said I like people. I am a people person until the day I die. I love people. I love hanging out with people and meeting people. So, this might get answered in the stream itself, but was your original plan for Jacob, and what inspired you to come with the took its place? Also, given what we learned in the past 2 days, do we call Zeke, or is there a different name? For the first part, I think I talked about it. For the Zeke part, I don't know yet. The Zeke part was just like a play on words for hide. I don't think he has a name right now. I don't know if it's Apollyon. I don't know, because the sun bug would be Apollo, but it's not the moon bug. That's for sure. And it might be the silverfish, but we don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Who was streaming near the airport? I believe Alira was, and I think Nana was as well. Zeke Beer. The airport was fun. I loved it. Yeah, the hide and seek thing was really fun. Shout out to everybody who suggested Zeke. That was a good idea. I'm so bummed. Like, one of the people I'm really bummed I didn't get to roleplay was Nana, because I know that she's really good at roleplay. Also, I'm sad I didn't get to roleplay with Ruse more. I always like roleplaying with Ruse. His character's always great. Yeah. I'm just really sad I didn't get to roleplay with all... The cops were incredible. I'm really sad I, like, basically didn't get to meet any of the bachelors except Jimmy. I would have liked to talk to the bachelors and kind of, like, pick their brain. Tim's gang, I would have loved to have known what they were doing. Yeah. I wish Remy Radicini didn't die, so that we could have been more involved in that too. Yeah, he had to leave early. He had stuff to do. A lot of people did. A lot of people had stuff to do, you know? People are busy. It was a long event, you know? Pew, 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 pew. But yeah, I haven't thought of a name yet. For real, who was the fake Champa? It was a mod. It was Roadworks. Is that all? Oh, that's all. Is that all of the questions? According to this list, let me refresh. Yeah, that's all of them. We did it! Now we gotta watch clips. Oh, never mind, there's more. I lied. That's not all of them. That's not all of them. I lied, that's not all of them. How did Jake rank himself among the DOG? He would probably say he was the worst. I mean, Jake would think he's the worst, even though he won. I don't think he believes. I think him winning made him realize that it's all broken, so it didn't matter to him. Stuart definitely is the worst lawyer. It was good because we were all bad, except for the one who was good, who didn't win. It was beautiful. But I don't think he would rank himself. He's not much of a rank guy. I don't think he cares about that. He just wanted people to have justice, I guess. But it didn't, you know. Can you give a little info on how Jake fits into the Sunbug verse, especially now with us knowing the Sunbug has connections to Barnacles? What else can you tell us about the Sunbug? Well, I told you a little bit in the beginning. The Sunbug is kind of like an extraterrestrial, a being of light who poses wisdom to people and wants people to realize what their idea of good and evil are. And then connect that with light. Like, if people have hope, I guess hope is a great way to look into it. Some people are hopeful for good, and some people are hopeful for things that are just selfish for them. Like, for example, the conversation that the Sunbug had with Lan, where the Sunbug was like, what is your like goal? Like, you're gonna reach high ground, like you're gonna trample over everybody else to get where you want to go. That's your hope and that's your ambition, even if it is something that is morally maybe detestable. To walk over people to get where you want, is that not still hope? Is that not still like their version of light for them to get where they're going? Are they lying to themselves? And if so, is that, you know, if they're lying to themselves, that maybe that's bad and they need to reflect on that. That's the whole point of what the Sunbug does. And in that way, they are able to spread their influence through that. That's how they get their influence. And like when people feel hopeful, they feel that's how they fuel their godly ambitions or whatever you would call it. While as Zeke obviously thrives in chaos, you know. I think it's nice that the Sunbug isn't morally good as well. I think I think it's better that he is like that. Fake Champa was Roadworks. I had a theory it was no, it was not. I thought it was Mako too. It was not Mako. I also thought it was C in Court, who was played by Triggerfish. Just like chaos isn't always bad. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's one of those things where like I love the idea. Like one of my favorite things to think about is good and evil, light and dark, chaos and you know, order and entropy, and chaos and calm. And I love those things, and I like the idea that not everything is black and white. I like morally gray. I love characters that are morally gray, but I do also like an inspirational, wise, and like calm demeanor that the Sunbug presents, because I think it's kind of antithetical to how I normally act and like how I talk. So I just like that a lot. Makes me wonder if being the opposing the Sunbug isn't always evil, but I'm definitely, yeah, I think the idea is that it shouldn't. He never really talks about like him being like the best or whatever, you know? He just talks about things in the way that he believes them to be. So I had to be consistent with that, which is hard as well, so. Were you at least somewhat satisfied with how you ended your time on the server? Was there anything you wish you planned through better or had more time to do other than the attempted iPod Nano kidnapping in Army? I feel like I ended it well. For the situation that I had, which was I didn't know how to end it, and for the improvisation part, I think that I improvised well, and that I'm glad that I extended the universe and made people think, and people have questions about the characters, and people have questions about their ambitions and their hopes and dreams. Will I get B a Roboraptor? We'll see in season 2, if there is one. Yeah, Greek mythology, meddling Sunbug Daddy. You're right, Lily. He's a little meddling guy. He is. It's true. Oh. He does like meddling. I don't know if he likes manipulating. He does like he likes people figuring out what he doesn't want to tell people what is right or wrong. He wants to pose the question and them decide. He likes to give them like, here's how I'm viewing this. Is this what you are seeing in yourself? Are you seeing this for yourself, or is it a lie to you for you? Yeah, he likes to nudge people. Who won? Who's next? You decide. Bottles of mystery. Yeah, I was satisfied. I felt good about it, but I'm just hard on myself about everything. It's not hard for me to get down on myself about something when it goes wrong. It's very not hard. If something goes wrong, as you guys know, I play a game, and if I can't figure something out, I get frustrated. I'm a frustrated fuck, and it's always with me. I always get frustrated with myself, so you guys know that. It's just something I gotta work on, you know? I'm just like everybody else. I put my dick on one ball at a time. I love that he always like, what do you mean? What's that mean to you? How do you feel? Exactly. I love asking people what it means to them and stuff. So the brainworms, they're starting. My brainworms. Not me. I put the whole dick on at once. I take the hinges off the door, fuckboy. I put the hinges in the fuckboy's hands, as they say. Do you feel like you learned something? Yeah, I do. I feel like I always try to learn something. What I learned is that VTRP, I was in control of my narrative a lot more than other people. And I'm super grateful for the fact that I got to tell a story that worked out for me, and that I think a lot of people ended up liking it. And I was able to include a lot of people. My biggest thing is I do not like to exclude anybody, whether that is on purpose or an accident. Definitely not on purpose, but it does happen on accident. I want to let people jump in the car. If somebody is walking by and they're not involved with the plot, I'm like, get in the car. You're involved in the plot now. That's my favorite thing to do. I like putting people in the car and driving away. And I only got to really do that once, and it was with Ben Boto this season. That's all. The only person I really got to influence in that way was probably Ben Boto, maybe Mildred. But Mildred was probably going to end up on that path anyway. Oh yeah, oh my god. Dude, I'm excited to watch the clips. I hope we have time to watch all of them. I want to. Yeah, I do think that I learned. I think that I learned, and I think that I can do better. The biggest thing is I need to be involved in a group. I can't just be me. I need to be involved in something. And also, I want my characters to always be growing. If the character is no longer in a position to grow, they are not a character that is worth playing to me anymore. And that's the difficulty with big, long servers. There are a lot of servers with characters where the character is figured out. They know who they are. They have gone through things that humans go through in lifetimes. They understand what it means to be them, and there is no room for them to holistically like become anything else. And when you've hit that stride, you should retire the character, because then they're just sitting there, and it happens a lot in GTRP. I've seen a lot of GTRP where people just sit around and like they're doing sit around RP. I never ever want to do sit around RP unless it's funny and fun. That's what I've learned. Yeah. Did you have any other character ideas for the server that you'd be willing to give? Yeah, Joey Fatone Provolone was going. So here's how it started. I think if Stuart had ever gone to crime, Joey Fatone was gonna be his his big meat guy. I think that was gonna happen. I also have many ideas for characters. Like, I have my like black and white noir detective character. I have another idea for a fantasy character that I really want to use soon with somebody that you guys might see coming up. I have a very fun idea. I have a lot of ideas for characters, but it's my biggest part is always I always want the character to have meaning. I don't like having a character that is just like, it has to have meaning to me or it's not worth it. There has to be a story I'm telling, and that sounds selfish. I don't know. I can't think of any characters right now for RP characters. I think Zeke is a compelling character. I do think he's a little boring unless he crashes out. Like, he was flirty and like he was able to like kind of like make people trust him, like he was gonna be like a criminal guy. Jake was almost a cop. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you watched Vox's POV. After the conversation with Tonight that I had, which I did off stream, I think, where I don't know if anybody saw. I went to talk with the chief, and I told him I've been lying to everybody. I've been becoming an informant. I've been gathering information. Even Stuart, like, I've been betraying them the whole time because I feel like the system is broken. And I felt very much that Vox's character, Chief Serpico, would be the kind of guy who would use more force to get what he wanted. And Jake saw that Jake saw that this chief had the opportunity to break and be more brutal and get things done to stop a broken system. The system was broken. Jake saw that, and he really thought that he could also manipulate the chief to be more brutal. And instead of being like, not like be a fucking bad cop. And I really wanted to play with that, but I had no time. I didn't realize the server, I didn't have enough time to be a cop and end my story. So who knows? He might be a cop. Which VOD was this? It was I don't even know. Day 10? It had to have been day 10. It's probably at the end of the VOD. So the idea was going to be that Zeke was going to be the cop. And Jake, who is Zeke, was going to be still Jake and talk to people because people trusted Jake. But Zeke would be the cop out on the field, and like Jake would be out there gathering information. So he would also be a cop, but he would be like an informant and an operative. He would be an operative, really, a spy. because he had gained trust from a lot of people, kind of, in a way. At least to the point where they didn't expect him to be like that. And I was really afraid that people would accidentally maybe metagame that and never. The thing is, you have to be so careful. I mean, it worked, but it worked on the last day when the judge went bad and he had the authority of martial law. Too late to really play up for your pushing him to the fact, but you nudging him that way, that would have been really fun to see. I tried, but I didn't have enough time. There wasn't enough time to do what I wanted to do, so. But I was messaging Vox on the side talking about it, like everybody's always being, you know, consensual. We're always making sure before I do something big. For example, when I went to LAN about like the thing, I was like, I'm going to present this character, like I'm going to come to your character and have a talk. I want to make sure you're comfortable with me coming to your character and having this talk because it involves a topic that is kind of, you know, it's an emotional topic. So I think if you approach somebody emotionally, you can do it in character, but you should approach somebody out of character before you come to them with ideas like that. Because if they are not comfortable with that, you cannot do that. Because you can make the person really uncomfortable. So I always message the person out of character to be like, hey, I have an idea. Are you comfortable with it? Let's make sure you are before I do it. So they are important, and it's not metagaming. It's just you have to talk OC to make sure that you're on the same page, or else you're not gonna have a good time. You just aren't. So I always have OC talks to people before I do something like that. Same with B and kidnapping her. We had a talk. Same with talking to Vox about all the stuff we talked about. Same with talking to Tonight about all the things I talked about. I always ask OC. But yeah, any character ideas for the server? I don't know. I want to do some. I want to. I don't know. I don't want to fall in line. I don't know. Are there any more characters Jake met that you wish you got to interact with more? I mean, literally all of them. So many interesting characters. I wish I got to interact with everybody so much more. I mean, there's probably characters that out there that I have no fucking idea what's going on with them, and I can't even begin to see. Like, I wanted to talk to Kyle more. I wanted to talk to Mr. M and MC. I never got to see them. I wanted to talk to Roku Nana more. I wanted to talk to Marcus Macaroni. I wanted to talk to I really like Dr. Band-Aid. I liked Dr. Ash Ash, who was Sugi OC. There's a lot of people I just wish I got to talk to more. I got to talk to Luke a lot, which I'm happy about. I got to talk to like Ryzar and Liren and I got to talk to Stelly, who I always called Salad, which I was really, I also never got to meet Ash Carriel's character, who I had I really wanted to meet his character, never got to meet him. I got to talk with Vayne and Abaddon's character a lot, which was really fun. I didn't get to talk to Tim like ever. I didn't get to talk to Rico nearly as much as I wanted to. The fishing gang I didn't get to talk to a lot. I wanted to talk to Ragus more and see what his ideas were. Valentina, I wanted to talk to Valentina more. Billy Baxter was awesome, and Derek, and yeah, I wanted to talk to Derek more. Momo, so many characters, man. A lot of characters that I really wish I could have got to know. There's a fuck ton. And of course, like Croc and Envy, I would have loved to have talked to more. But, you know, it's difficult. They're cops. And, you know, I had a lot of time with Croc and Envy and VTRP. And I really missed them this time around. Like, I missed my Australians. I had Champa, but I really did miss them a lot. So I'm waiting for them to come back to me. What else do we go? What else? Evie's character was so fucking cute in this one. Yeah. You still seem to attract Aussies. I love Aussies. I think like Australians and Americans have like this connection with our like humor. Like Australians and Americans get along really well because we can take jokes. And like we can banter with each other a lot, and I love every Australian I meet. I'm just enamored with them. They're just so funny to me, and they're always so sweet. Yeah, I always come back to the cover of Bunny because, oh, the Australians are stealing Hunter. Yeah, I always want to be in them when they're doing some fuck shit. Ophelia wanted you to talk to Kyle more. Of course, I mean, like I would have loved to have talked to Kyle more, but you can't talk to everybody you want to. Kyle seemed like an interesting character. that I never got to find out what he's about. So maybe next time. Oh, Roy. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, Detective Cortado. I don't even know what the detectives. I have no idea. Like Aurora Blank. I just don't know what they were even doing. Chase was great. I mean, Dweemer, I would have loved to have hung out with way more. I liked Chase a lot because he was a little like asshole. Like he was like an asshole fast cop. He was a good cop. He would like goad me. It was funny. I don't know. I can name a million characters that I wish I got to interact with more, but didn't. The whole fishing gang and, you know, everybody. Every character. There's not a single character that I didn't want to interact with. Toad scared the fuck out of me. If there's one character that I think haunted my nightmares, it was Toad. Every time I saw Toad, terrified. It's every time I see DK's characters terrify my characters. I'm so scared of them. They play such terrifying characters, man. They scare me. When they beat the fuck out of me after I was like, give me all your money. They beat me to death. I was like, why are you beating me to death? I have an event to go to, you bastards. I hope nobody ever thought I was angry with them. There was a point, and after I ended, where I felt really bad, and I apologized to these. I didn't apologize to everybody, but I don't know. There was a point where after I got sent to prison, I walked back into the city for like 30 minutes. I couldn't rob a car. So I was offline, and I walked all the way to the city. It was like, I was in prison for 40 minutes. I walked back to the city for 40 minutes. I got back and I was on the sidewalk. I got knocked off the bike, and then I got fucking, welcome in, Ellen, welcome in. I got knocked off my bike. A bag was put on my head, and like, I was like kind of mad. Like I had a little bit of soul bleed where I was a little bit mad. I was like, just go. Like, just fucking, if you need to use me as a hostage, use me. So I felt bad because I think that I made them uncomfortable. And I felt really bad, but I was just like, I was mad. I was like, I don't want to do this. And then, it's not their fault, but I died and they left me, and I had a bag over my head, and I couldn't ping EMS. I didn't want to log off for fail RP. And I was sitting there for 30 minutes with a bag on my head dead. So that was almost 3 hours of me sitting there, and I was just, that's why I almost stopped the server. I was like, I can't do this. I can't. I was like, dude, everything is going wrong, and I'm just like feeling bad. But that was nobody's fault. That is nobody's fault. I was not, listen, that's just one of those things that happens. It's like you get hit by a bus, and then an airplane hits you, and then a meteor hits you. So, no, it's fine. I'm not mad about it. I feel bad that I came across that way to them, because they were probably live, and then I sound like an asshole. So, you know, it's one of those things, but hopefully they understand. That's what happens when you turn a crime. I was kidnapped! But you're right. What else inspired you to do Jake other than Jekyll and Hyde? The name Jekyll and Hyde was just the play on words. I was going to do a conspiracy theorist character from the start. It wasn't always going to be Jekyll and Hyde. But I was like, what if I just do a funny name pun? Everybody does a funny name pun, you know? People love name puns. So, fuck, dude. We're gonna run out. It's been 3 hours. I'm not even on clips yet. Are you fucking me? There's so many clips. Should we do clips tomorrow? We might have to do clips tomorrow, gamers. We might have to do clips tomorrow. Maybe we watch dinosaurs and do clips. Because there's a lot of... I don't want to rush the clips. So let's do that. We'll do a full clip stream tomorrow. We'll talk more. Should I do it later in the day? What time works better for, like, how's like 3 p.m. Eastern for you guys? How long is Dinosaur? It's probably not more than 2 hours. So we'll do that and watch, maybe we'll watch Dinosaurs in Discord. We'll do like 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for clip review, yeah? We'll do that. All right, that's good. Just so I can, like, I don't want to rush clips at all. I really don't. And maybe people will join tomorrow and talk. I want to, like, if there's people involved in the event tomorrow that want to come on, I would love to talk to them. Because I know everybody's doing their clip reviews tonight, and they're talking about their characters. What's Dinosaur? It's the Dinosaur documentary directed by Steven Spielberg and narrated by Morgan Freeman. I almost said Morgan L. Freeman. Like Dr. Jake L. Hyde. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So, for the Jekyll and Hyde thing, I am always interested in characters that battle with light and dark. I love characters that, and I said this early on, I didn't want people to get the idea that it was a medical diagnosis of bipolar or dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder, all of those. I don't know anything about that. I don't have any of those things, and therefore I should not play a character who has them, because that's not fair to people. It puts a bad view on people who actually go through that. So the entire time he was always just going to be a guy who was possessed by a fucking alien, which may seem like a cop-out to some people, but it's the truth. That's what I wanted to do. I always like extraterrestrial and like fantastical things like that. So, oh wait, we're done. Actually, we're down to the love. We're down to love. LOVE. Are there any questions? He was an alien real? Oh my god. Jake's not an alien. He does have an alien living in his head. He is not an alien. An extraterrestrial. Is there any questions from the chat that you weren't able to ask, that you would like to ask? Please, I bid thee, I bid thee. I doth. Ancient alien theorists would love that. That's what I'm saying, type shit. Question, why are you stinky? Next question, I don't stink, I smell great. I smell like a wonderful flower. Like Star Trek 2, Wrath of the Khan, with that bug crawled up in after your ear. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't have enough insight into it to discuss it. But it was less of like, it's a bug that crawled in his ear, and more that there is, well, maybe there is. Maybe the lightning maybe have been more than lightning. Oh god, what's behind me? Oh, that's a box. Question, which was your favorite of the outfits you wore? Oh, dude, yeah, fuck. I loved my yellow outfit. My yellow shoes outfit with the with my like sweater and the yellow headband and the glasses on my head. I love that outfit. I think he looked so cute. But I did love his hair in a little mini pony. I did. Because that's the haircut that I want. I liked so many of the outfits. I had a really fun time with the outfits. Do you think you'll continue the Sunbug universe, or are you not planning on making characters with the intent of bringing the Sunbug into it? But if it happens, it happens. Like I said, the Sunbug is always a... I like the idea of having a universe with my characters where they're all connected. I do. I have to be careful or else it gets old. It gets old. Like, if I continue to use that narrative device, it's going to get old for people. People are going to be like, oh, you're fucking just doing this again. Look, he's playing the fantastical character that is all-knowing. Oh, look at this guy. He's fucking married Johnny Sue. I never use the character to be OP. I never, like, do anything with it. It's always a mental battle. Hi, LVR. Hi. Hello. I also didn't get to hang out with Misty ever. Dies. It's the same as VTRP. I never get to hang out with you. But I want to. I just don't want to... I don't want to beat the dead horse, man. Or I don't want to beat the alive horse. Fuck beating the dead horse. The dead horse is dead. The alive horse is alive. I don't want to beat that either. But yeah, I don't know. Is Jake any way related to Barnacules? No, they are not related. The only thread they have is a universal thread between whatever. When the Sunbug popped up in District V was so good. I'm glad you were there. You and B were there. I'm sure Nana and, was it Maya? What was their character's name? It was like Meat. Was their name Meat? What was that? What, the green hair cop? It was like Muscat Meat. What was their name? Muscat Mignon. It was fucking Meat. I knew it. And Roku Nana. Yeah, they were probably confused as shit. I didn't want to confuse them too much. But I like the idea that characters are connected. Like, B's character, obviously, physically, Adler is the criminal B. But also your character, Misty, is like, I like the idea that, like, in some universe, in some way, the Sunbug has met you in that life and in this one. Even if you don't understand what I mean. you still kind of get it. Even because, like, you know, Misty and your doctor character, fuck, what was their name? I forget. Plant. It was a plant. Was it a plant name? Ivy. God damn. Oh, they're long lost sister, so they are related. Yeah, Johnny, because Johnny really liked the Sunbug. The Sunbug helped Johnny a lot, so I wanted Johnny to see the Sunbug a lot. Meat. I didn't know they were long lost twin sisters. That's nice, though. I mean, they do be looking the same. They're twinly. My favorite car. Oh my god, Jake and I fucking loved my car. What did I do to my car? I'll come back to that. Do you have any sort of headcanon of what Zeke's alien form looks like, or are they more like higher they are dimensional beings without form? Without a doubt, all of those beings are ethereal, not corporeal. Well, corporeal, no, ethereal. They're ethereal beings of like stardust and like mist, but I guess they would have a physical form, kind of like anything does. Like they take a form in the clouds. They are something on the wind, incorporeal. Yeah, they're ethereal. They are intangible, and they don't have a physical form. But I think they still can. You can come up with whatever you want. Do you have any sort of headcanon? Yeah, I answered that. Do you mind if a fanfic involving Zeke and someone gets written because I brain wars? You can do whatever you want. That's fine. Missy being cop to look for her, so the Sunbug probably actually push her story. Like, yay, I'm glad. I love pushing people's stories. I got to talk to, dude, Bob Burgerweather. I made Bob freak out. I was like, Bob, I think that like you like Lucas Santos. And he was like, I don't, I like broke Bob. It was awesome. And then I gave Bob my car. So Bob had my fucking car. And when I woke up from being the Sunbug, I was like, my car! Where does my car keep going? And then it spiraled. My fucking car! My car! I loved that car! I think the concept of the entities are looking different. Everyone is the entity. Yeah, I think so too, Ophelia. Somebody drew the Sunbug before. I think it was Cochet. That's cool though. I'm glad, Elvira, that you got to further your character. That's all that. At the end of the day, when I sat as the Sunbug and I did that offline of VTRP, my entire goal was not for me. That's why I did it all offline. I did it offline because I wanted it to be good from other people's POVs, and I wanted people that maybe didn't get a chance to have a narrative beat to have it. If you can think about your character even a little bit, there's not many characters that will come to you and present you with an idea that is bigger than themselves. Not a lot of characters will come to you and be like, well, you are doing this, but are you this? Like, is this true as well? I just want people to have that because it's really special. Because if you don't have that, it feels difficult, man. I get it. It's been fun to interact with. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wish we got to interact more, but it is what it is. Maybe season 2 if it happens. I was searching for something like Walden and other POVs at the end of the VTRP. Oh yeah, I was in there. I was popping up. I saw a lot of this for people who had no idea. Dude, I went up to when I went up to the 2 EMS, I think one was Uki. And he was like, you're in my head. Like everybody was like, oh, you're bound. Like I love the idea that he off-put everybody. Everybody he talked to, he was like, what? Like, what are you doing? Why are you in my brain? Like, everybody I met, I would just kind of like do that. I would kind of make them off-put. Except for like, it's always, Croc's characters never care. They're always like, I don't trust you, which is good. He's always like, fuck you, I don't like riddles. Did you guys see the message that Adler typed at the end after meeting the Sunbug? I don't know if she sent it to anybody. She typed it and deleted it. Maybe she talked about that in her POV. I love the idea that someone was speaking to them telepathically. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea, is that if he's not like that, then he would be speaking in there. That's why he has a mask on, you know? I like it too, and that's why I like bringing it back. part of me wants to do Zeke a little bit more and freak people out, but nobody wants to talk to like a demon that's growling at them. Just like,
Hello there. What do you think about this thing? Do you like when your dad yells at you to get off the game? Does that make you angry? Are you pissed off? Don't you want to fucking go crazy?
yeah, inside voice. Every time with Stuart and Champa, inside voice. Some people heard him break, like May heard him break. I want to talk to him. You guys are freaks. Y'all freaky. Y'all some freaks for real. You need God and Jesus. You need God and Jesus. And the devil. Yeah, and yes, and I don't even remember what Zeke would ever say. I know that he like had a crash. I don't remember anything I said with Zeke. I don't remember it. I don't remember the dialogue I had, that big thing on the beach. I don't remember it. And Dr. Blood. I like that I was trying to be French, but then I slowly turned into this, like this weird, like Eastern European shit. And then I made Mako do it too. I'm the lion. I slap my fat belly. I'm the bone cruncher. I will turn you inside out and kill you. I'll chop off your head. Dude, when okay, the part where we were on the payphones, that was not Stuart, Duncan, Wayman. That was not Hugh Wayman, Stuart Smalls, and Dr. Jekyll Hyde. That was Shiki Katagami, Gavis Bettel, and Apollo Bugman. He kept saying Dr. Blood. Well, Dr. Blood was him. I didn't. Rest in peace, Hugh Wayman. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true, Needle. I do know that. They felt like it was in their brain. Yeah, that's true. Alter Blood. Oh, the French accent in front of... Oh, yeah, I didn't realize... I really wish I got to talk to Vesalius' character more. I talked to him sometimes. He was really nice. That's another big regret, is that I just, like, didn't get to talk to him ever. He was really nice. His character was nice. He had a great... You know what, honestly... Out of all of the romances and the couples, I'm gonna be real with you, Vesalius and that other EMS doctor was very cute. That was a very, very cute romance that they had. I was walking up there with me and Aurora Blanks when they were together, and they were so cute. I liked it. I thought they were sweet together. We did have some really cute moments. I have no idea if Vesalius knew that was me. I don't know if, you know, it's, you know, I would love to talk with him about his character more and learn about more of his character, you know? I have no idea if he knows. Yeah. He liked the sunbug? Wait, did I ever talk to him with the sunbug? Did I talk to him? I don't think I talked to him. I don't think they know it was me. No. I don't think they do. I don't think that people knew that was me. Which I kind of like. I watched you talk to him. What did I say to him? I know, I remember talking to some of the EMS. Yeah, if you guys have Sunbug clips, go for it. I don't remember. I know I talked to Aurora. I had a talk with the judge. I don't know if the judge knew it was me. May knew it was me instantly because May's smart and could figure that out. I talked to Lan, obviously. I didn't get to talk to Dweemer. I wanted to talk to more cops. Adler and Misty and... He was in the environment that you talked to after getting healed. Oh. I don't remember that. Hello, so excited for this? Well, we're at the end. We're gonna watch the clips tomorrow, so I apologize. I just don't want to rush the clips. It's already been 3 hours. We're gonna do clips tomorrow at like 3 p.m. Eastern. Did Sunbug talk with Prophet? No. I barely talked to Prophet, and here's the reason. The reason I did not talk to the Prophet a lot is because I knew if I talked to the Prophet, I would get engulfed in his stupid shit, and it would make me break character, and I would never come back. If I got embroiled with Lamb's character, there would be no coming back. I could not get myself involved like via therapy. I had to step back. I had to. Because if I get near that man again, I'm gonna be a fucking minge. I'm gonna start shooting people. I already almost got arrested with him twice, because he's a fucking crazy guy. And I'm glad that he got his thing and that he did his thing with his character and his wives and his things. He did make Jake quit being a lawyer though. It was he caused it. He was the straw that broke the alien's back. Dang it, I'll watch VOD. The VOD it's a good watch. You'll enjoy it. There's a lot of good questions and good answers. If you have a question, I obviously have time now, so you feel free. Any question, it can be about the event, it can be about your favorite moments. I don't care. You go for it. The alien, dude, fucking Oopie Goopy. I loved that shit. I really wish we got to do that more. I'm so sad it didn't work out. I really wish. I really do. It would have been so much funnier. I really wish the Oobly Goobly. We got to do Oobly Goobly more. Yeah, we can ask them live chat in Discord, or I'll answer them tomorrow. It's fine. You love my performance at the talent show? Oh my god, I was so embarrassed. Dude, my heart... I was so nervous for that fucking performance. Not because it was like for anyone, or the reason. I thought the reason was beautiful, and I thought the lyrics were beautiful. I was just scared to do it in front of like fucking people that I listen to do music and stuff. Like, I've been listening to like Renzoto's music for a long time. And he's really good, and I had to sing in front of him. And I was like, fuck, he's like a musician. He's good. That's why I was nervous. Yeah, I thought it was sweet. I can't believe that didn't win. I don't think Tonight knew it was about her, which is kind of nice. It was so cute. The people in the audience were arguing over Jake. What were people saying in the audience? I heard that some people were like, it's about me. It's about me. It's got to be about me. I like that people were trying to figure out who it was about. It was fun. It was a fun plot point. He wrote this about me. I wish I got to hear that stuff, but I didn't. So it's kind of nice that I didn't, I guess. They were arguing. That's nice. They kept saying it was about them. It's about me. It's got to be about me. Zally was one of them. I did hear that he was one of them. That is really cute. God, I wish I got to talk to some of the people I really loved their characters. Like, I think one time when I was offline, Vesalius was, Band-Aid he was like driving a helicopter on the highway, and I was talking to him about his day. I was like, man, he seems like so nice to talk to. I just wish I could talk to these people for a little bit more. That's like the only thing I regret leaving, is that I just couldn't talk to everybody I wanted to talk to. Yeah, the talent show was fun. Everybody killed the talent show. Holy fuck. Everybody. I gave everybody like a 5 except like fucking Lamb. Everybody, he got like a 1, and then everybody else got like 4 and 5. Any other questions? Ooby Goobies. I'm Ooby Gooby. Ooby Gooby. It was just Stitch. I love the talent show. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. I love how Lamb got up there and you said it and Tiger started booing. Yeah, dude, fucking Neil hates profit margins. I wanted him to boost. I like profit margins, so I don't care. I think he's funny. I have a question. Go for it. And no. Lamb got up there and somebody was in chat thought he had bombs in his ass. God, that would been funny, huh? I have a bomb in my ass. Listen, dude, my challenge for Lamb is he needs to just, he cannot be a crazy guy anymore. Imagine, what was your reaction internally to me not understanding the Z combo? What was your reaction internally to me not understanding the Z combo? Wait, what Z combo? Oh, the combo with the ethereal guy? Oh, that's not Zeke, my bad. I know it's confusing. Oh, yeah, so that's like I guess to explain, Zeke is like the bad and the one I talked to you was the good. Both aliens, kinda. Both like the angel and devil kind of thing on his shoulder. I was so confused and failed RP so bad when that happened. That's okay. The fact that you were confused is more indicative of you should be confused, because imagine if you were out in a fountain and your friend came up to you and they were possessed by something. Or like you were told you were going to talk to them and they were talking to you in your head. What would you do? Would you be like, ah, yes, I do believe the square? No, you would fumble. No human realistically would be like, oh yes, I'm gonna have a battle of wits with this man who's trying to get me to lay out my existential shit. No, you're gonna be like, I don't get it. That's normal. That is real. That's a real reaction. So the fact that you did that is good because it makes sense. Aurora Blanks is just a detective, you know? She's not an otherworldly deity either. So that's the big thing with doing it, and why I don't like doing it a lot is because I feel like some people might be like, well, why is this in my Grand Theft Auto roleplay? I thought it was a nice combo. I thought all of them were very nice combos. You can't handle him wrong no matter what. Yeah, I mean, he appears and he gets you to think about things. He was just trying to tell you, your character, that I think he was trying to tell Skylar to slow down. He was telling everybody to slow down because Skylar was spiraling, and the Sunbug was trying to get Skylar to not spiral, but Skylar was really, really taut, like just fucking wound up. No, you didn't ruin the RP. No, there's no such thing as ruining the roleplay unless you like just start like doing fart noises into the mic or something during a fucking scene. So don't worry about it. You worry too much. Why is this in my Grand Theft Auto roleplay, but it produces the funniest characters roleplays? Yeah, I guess it do. It'd be like that, Nari. You did great. You played your character well. Listen, when a weird, strange, booming voice talks to you, you know, what do? You know?
If you start hearing this, it kind of puts you at odds. It makes you think. What do you even do when this starts talking to you? Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo.
It kind of, it makes you scared. Wait, what did I just do? I think I turned off all the wrong shit. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully it sounds okay still. I think I turned off the wrong thing. I'm gonna have to figure this out. The Wii startup noise. Yeah, guys, this means that it's the end. Yeah, the Wii just started, guys. It's Fruitager era music. He's so far away. Am I far? Quiet. How about now? How about now? Ah, fuck. Better? Better. Back up. What? How about now? Ah, fuck. Hold on a second. I can solve this, and I did, I think. I solved it, I believe. I hope. Did it fix? Are we good? It fixed. Okay, cool. Nice. I would say this, the Sunbug's voice is soothing, almost lull. Dude, yeah, when I was playing the, like, what music was it? It was this one. Hold on. Is it this one? I should do an ASMR with just this.
Hello, everyone. Think about everything you've ever done wrong in your life. Now close your eyes. Now open them. Now close them again. Now start crying in front of your parents. Now cry more.
Good. Where's the song from? It's a Fruitager Arrow playlist. It's called A Brighter Age. I can link it. I like Fruitager Arrow a lot. It's one of my favorite types of music right now. Oop. Fruitager Arrow. The background is also really nice to look at too. All right, guys. Any other questions? If you think of more, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I think I'll have more time tomorrow. It's kind of late right now. Oh, Vaporwave? I don't really like Vaporwave that much, but I do like this a lot. Yo, Zuda, thanks for the gifts of the fish stickinator. Boo, 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 pow. Wow, 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 wow. Future funk. All right, guys, I think I'm done. Is anybody doing their thing right now? Anybody doing their review? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh god, I can't raid into Resident Evil streams. People, fuck, everyone's playing Resident Evil. I want to play Resident Evil. No, Croc's not going anymore. I was gonna raid into him. Oh my god, what the fuck? Wait, why is Liminal Lark? Is Liminal Lark live? Guys, we're raiding Liminal fucking Lark. What the hell? He's live right now? Alright guys, go give my boy your best, okay? I didn't know he's fucking streaming on Twitch. Guys, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, that's 12 p.m. PST, we will do more. We'll watch all the clips, okay? Thanks for hanging out. I have very good questions. I really enjoyed the event, as you know. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. I don't think one day is enough to talk about it. I kind of am planning on having a few streams, right? I'm going to have tomorrow's clip review, and then I want to do a tier list of all the characters. I would also like to talk to some people about it. But thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll watch Dinosaur, and we will do clips. I just got to keep all these open now. Shit. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.